Oh, yeah. It's time to talk. Do you want to talk to me? Talk to you. Talk to you about boxing. You ready to talk? Let's talk. So I saw a list. Earlier published by Boxing Scene of Hall of Famers. The guys that are shoo-ins to get into the Hall of Fame. Guys that might get into the Hall of Fame. Guys that don't stand much of a chance. It was an interesting list for a few reasons. It was an interesting list. I was surprised to see Anthony Joshua on the guys that might get on, because I actually figure that he's a shoo-in to get on. If Carl Froch got on, right, why wouldn't Anthony? Anthony was a unified champion. Anthony's fought in front of bigger crowds, been part of bigger events than Carl Froch. And if Carl Froch could get in, I figured, yeah, Anthony's got to be a shoo-in. But, you know, I saw the list. This is the list for those that didn't see it. Luisito, que lo que, Octavius, que lo que, Gooch. You already know. You know, this is the list that was published by Boxing Scene of Hall of Fame chances. The shoo-ins, the probables, the long shots, and the guys where it's just too soon to tell. You know, you see Anthony in the second column alongside Errol Spence, Artur Beterbiev, Kenshiro Taraji, Deontay Wilder. I thought it was disrespectful to put him on there. I thought it was disrespectful because he was a unified champion, but he wasn't just a unified champion. He was a two-time unified champion. And, I mean, if we're talking about fame, we're talking about, okay, Hall of Fame inductees. Yeah, he has a bigger audience than anybody on that. Anybody in the second column. You know, he has a bigger following than Kenshiro Taraji, than Artur Beterbiev, than Deontay Wilder, than Errol Spence Jr. You know, the guy's got an MBE. You know, so I figured he'd be a shoo-in to get on. But he's always gotten the shaft with a lot of people. Some of them Brits, but a lot of them Americans, you know. It's almost like the Americans are simultaneously coming to terms with it wasn't his fault that the fight with Wilder didn't happen, but they want it to be his fault. You know? Caesar, what it do, Santiago? Because all the evidence, everything, the paper trail, it tells the story in plain English that, you know, they offered the guy the fight any number of times. And any number of times he turned it down. I think the moments in history that will stand out the most is the $100 million offer that was rejected from DAZN. That's going to stand out. And that even after all of that stuff happened and everybody thought the fight was dead, Turkey comes in, he's ready to make the fight. Anthony accepts, he holds up his end of the bargain, but Wilder doesn't. Wilder gets beat by Joseph Parker, and the rest is history. Yeah, Triple G, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. I don't really think he has a Hall of Fame resume. I've said that before. I don't really think he has a Hall of Fame resume, but there are other aspects of his career that I think will get him in. They kind of exaggerated the number of title defenses he had. I think they tried to say he had 19 when really, no. 5 of those were of a regular title. But 14 or 15 title defenses, that's pretty fucking good. So I think he would be able to get in because he was a unified champion and because he was a 2-time middleweight champion. People tend to forget that after he lost to Canelo, he did win some titles back. Not all of them, but some of them. You know? And when I saw Anthony on there, I'm just like, yo, that dude's been getting disrespected for most of his professional career for no good reason. You know what I mean? Because there's more of an argument that he wanted to be undisputed than Wilder wanted to be undisputed. I'm going to open up the chat to the panel now that Ray's here. Got to open up the chat to the panel to Ray. Because he actually became a unified champion. Wilder never did, even though Wilder became a champion about 2 years, I would say, before Anthony Joshua. Say 2 years, year and a half. Wilder becomes champion in 2015, I think, and it's not 2 years. It's more like a year and a half. Wilder becomes champion in 2015. Anthony, I believe, won the IBF title. Was that in 2016? I believe that was in 2016. He has the big Klitschko fight in 2017, which was huge. Like, I don't know. I don't know how anybody could look at his career and think that he won't get into the Hall of Fame. What do you think about that, Ray?
For Triple G getting into the Hall of Fame?
Nah, Anthony Joshua.
Oh, nah. There's a good chance he might not make it, to be honest.
Really?
Maybe he makes it off of hype, or not hype. That's a bad way to put it. Maybe he makes it off of like kind of being the person that revived heavyweight, but I don't know. I don't think he makes it otherwise.
You really don't think he would get into the Hall of Fame, really?
I just like respectfully to Anthony Joshua. I don't know if I really see like a Hall of Famer
but
from
bro,
that.
Carl Froch got in, bro.
That is true, and that's that's what leads me to the one thing that I did say, where I was like, if he could possibly get in off of like the big moments, like, that's what Froch got in off of.
Yeah, like I'm thinking if and that's not a knock on Carl Froch, you know what I mean? Because he had a good career, but if you could get in with a good career, yeah, Anthony would get in. He had a better career than Carl Froch.
But so did Ben, and he never got in.
You talking Nigel Ben?
Yeah.
Different time though, bro. I mean, like, I think that was at a time where America largely ignored the UK boxing scene, whereas when Carl was there was a little bit more light on it because America had Andre Ward, you know? So it's like, people are kind of paying attention, at least more than they did when Nigel Ben was there. Country, Anthony Joshua, Hall of Fame. Do you think he gets in? It's a good answer. I've thought about it that way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a man of very few words, Country, but when he does speak,
it's when someone else is speaking.
I'm sorry, I was doing something. What's your question again? I apologize.
Do the cucumbers taste better pickled?
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. Okay. It's not even a question.
All right, now, Country, Anthony Joshua, Hall of Fame. Would you induct him into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I would. I think he's done enough in his career. He's had some good battles and great fights with great champions and stuff. I mean, yeah, towards the end now he's looking fucked up, but I think he's done more than enough to get in.
And that's a lot of people, by the way, that, yeah, he's looking fucked up right now, but that's how a lot of careers end. You know what I mean? Shit. What if Manny loses to fucking Barrios, you know?
Wait, how old is Joshua?
About 34? 34, 35?
Oh, that's not bad then. I thought he was younger. I was about to say.
No,
actually,
Joseph is the youngest out of that crop. Like, that dude is still in his early 30s. He's the youngest out of that crop, you know? Real talk, would you induct Anthony Joshua into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, if the question is if I would, yeah, absolutely. I personally believe he's one of the most standout heavyweights we've had recently, but I'm curious to wonder what the fuck is Spence doing next to AJ?
Yeah, wait, hold on. I didn't see this list before.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, like, we're going to discuss the list because you see the sure shots. You see the guys in the top column. What the guys at Boxing Scene are basically saying is those guys in the top column are sure to get in the Hall of Fame, right? That's what they're saying. The guys in the second column are maybes. Maybes.
How is AJ any less deserving than fucking Fury?
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that. The guys in the third column are long shots. That's fucking Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, the Charlo brothers. You see the
None
guys
of those
that are
fuckers
there.
are getting in, except for maybe Jamal.
Jamel.
Yeah, Jamel will get in.
This list opens up.
That's it.
This list opens up a lot of questions because, I want to start with a softball question. Here's a softball question. I'm gonna go to Don. Don, do you think that becoming an undisputed champion at a given weight should guarantee you a slot in the Hall of Fame? Do you think it should?
Well, I don't think so because it depends on who was there. who you fought? Like, did you did you win a belt?
Can I answer this question?
Well, Jesus.
No,
All right, well, fuck it.
fucking you're
No,
not
it's okay.
done.
It's okay. Let the other person answer the question, and
No,
then when
fuck,
you
fuck that shit. There's a fucking parliamentary
procedure.
procedure. We all came here tonight.
Well,
we all
obviously Don is struggling to gather his thoughts.
Don, go ahead.
No. I said you can ask him a question, and then I'll interrupt him when he's answering this.
I'm gonna skip the both of you pricks, and I'm gonna go to Devontae. Devontae, do you feel that becoming an undisputed champion at a given weight should guarantee you a spot in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, especially if you're the first undisputed, the first in the 4-belt era. Yeah, and he had a good run, so I will get Jamel, man.
He had a good. I agree with that. He had a better run than Devin. He definitely had a better run than Devin.
All right, so I'm gonna just say no. Okay, just no. I'm gonna say
so. That's one yes and one no. You say no
because look at fucking Devin Haney.
There we go.
Okay, fuck that shit.
Yeah. No, Don took my point. My point was that we can't say that because then you got guys like Devin who got it off of one fight, off of a fucking
off of a fluke.
Okay, I'm gonna go to country. Country, do you agree with that? Do you think that it should or shouldn't guarantee you a spot in the Hall of Fame? Country's jerking off again. He joins the fucking live. He takes up fucking space so he can go jerk off.
I mean, it's probably for the best. He'd probably just have a non-committal answer again anyway.
Well, that's a no, okay? But,
yeah, I'm just saying.
It should, but then it shouldn't when they get it. No, I don't. Yes and no.
No, you made a valid point, Don, that like, should you get into the Hall of Fame when the only guy you had to beat to become undisputed, it was one guy, and that guy was George Cambodia.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look, listen to me right now.
But Don, can I counter your point? Don,
listen,
let me counter your point.
has a good chance of being undisputed.
Nah, don't say that.
Don't, man, nah.
Because the counterpoint is, at the same time, while Devin's run was pretty abysmal, right? Like, it wasn't a great run. When's the last time the lightweight division even saw an undisputed champion before he did it?
I don't think that's a good point to bring up because it's like the reason why that hasn't happened is what's it called? Is politic reasons, to be honest, at this point. It's not because it's been so hard to actually, have these guys fight and it's been that tough, but it's like, it's just been political reasons. I don't really see, that's why I don't really give that shit so much respect. Like, you're the first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. That's such a big achievement. It's not really
but when you think about it, wasn't that a part of, while Usyk's run was obviously better than Devin's, part of the significance was there hadn't been a cruiserweight undisputed champion in a long time, very long time, and there hadn't been one at heavyweight in 27 years?
Okay. But I wouldn't say that was impressive about it. What was impressive is that he beat multiple champions in their backyards together. If you're talking about cruiserweight as a whole, that what's it called, weight class could have been unified for a while. You know why it wasn't unified? Because everybody was so fucking broke that everybody was like, hey, shit, the fuck would I unify with somebody for? I could just have another title defense.
So basically, that's two no's. That's two no's. That undisputed by itself shouldn't get you in the Hall by default. Not by itself. That's two no's and one yes. I gotta go to somebody else now. Jason, what say you? Should it get you in by default, or should it not get you in by default?
If boxing was more of a sport, it should, but it's not. So no, it can't.
Three no's. Who was Eudi?
Eudis.
Ede? Ede.
Uni.
Call me Andres.
Okay, Andre. Should undisputed get you into the Hall of Fame by default or no? Not that by itself.
If you mean Usyk, I don't think so because I don't feel like 8 fights makes you a spot in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it is good enough for you.
So
8 fights.
no.
And the same goes for Crawford. Crawford has only 8 fights at welters, right?
He's got about 8 fights at welter, but I mean, those aren't the. But you're just counting the 8 fights at welter. What about lightweight? What about super light?
Of course. But I mean, they haven't done as many fights previous Hall of Famers. I mean,
Yeah, but Carl Froch is in there, and he doesn't have he doesn't have like 40, 50, 60
I
fights,
think he's
right?
arguing
Carl Froch?
quantity over quality.
of course, and there are many fighters that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But let me see. I don't really know if today's fighters, especially in heavyweights, have made enough to become Hall of Famers. Not even
Drew,
Usyk with the Undisputed.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna disagree on that because when I look at Usyk's resume, I see a real resume without the fluff. The only thing that separates Usyk's resume from Fury's resume is you fought a bunch of garbage, bunch of Tom Schwartz, bunch of fucking Otto Verleen, John McDermott, Chisora 3 times for some
Lost to
fucking
John
reason.
McDermott.
Why the fuck did you
Chisora-
fight Chisora 3
And we
times?
lost to John McDermott. Let's not fucking hold past. We lost to John McDermott.
In Fury's defense, the first 2
I know
times he looked
Harleen was
shit.
piecing him up too.
No, and then like if you skim through it, it's like if you skim through it, you know, there are guys, they got a whole heap of fucking fights, right? But it's a whole heap of fucking nothing. A lot of it.
Yeah,
Look,
that's Wilder's
I think-
career.
Sorry. I mean, Usyk is great. I mean, he has done a lot. I think he's the most important achievement in the 4-belt era, right? But when you compare the level of opposition with, I don't know, Holyfield's era or
You
Leonard
can't do
Floyd
that though.
even before,
I wouldn't do that because you can't fault him for not having a time machine.
of course, it's not his fault, but I don't think his resume is as big as those guys.
Oh, and also I would definitely argue, and people, Americans especially, are not gonna like this. Usyk's
Usyk has
heavyweight
a better
run.
caliber.
Oh, no, not even that. I'm done. Usyk's heavyweight run was better and more successful than Evander's. I grew up in that era. He
I
lost.
agree.
He lost 2 of the Bowe fights. People tend to forget that. You lost 1 of the Michael Moorer fights. You lost 1 of those. And your real thing was, you know, like, yeah, Evander, you know, he became a champion at heavyweight. He did. But he was up and down a lot. You know, I mean, it wasn't like this. That
There was
when
no
Usyk-
sustained dominance.
Yeah, like that when Usyk got up there, it was win after win after win after win from strength to strength. When Evander got up there, nah, you were up and down, bro. You were up and down.
Case in point, like Usyk, hands down. Like if Devin Haney retired after the Kambosos win, undisputed, he don't get in. Not
No,
to me.
he don't get in. No, he don't get in.
But then you add like it's wishy washy with the Hall of Fame, anyways. Because case in point, Loma's gonna get in because they're gonna factor in his 2 gold medals and all that other shit. They're gonna
And I'm one of the people. You know how I feel, Drew. Look, nothing against Loma, but to me, that is not a Hall of Fame career. It's not. No, it's.
They're
not,
gonna
not
lean on his
not over the
amateur
pros.
record.
Not
You're
over
right.
the
but-
pros. Well, Rocky
like-
Martinez.
I mean, is
Rocky
this
Martinez.
professional boxing Hall of Fame or is this boxing Hall of Fame?
No, we're talking about the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Por eso, we're not going based off of pure pros.
No, I know that, but this is more. What do you opine? What do you opine? Do you think he should get in? And I'm like, if anybody should get in, where me and Eve and Andre don't agree is, yeah, Usyk should get in because he doesn't think that he has enough fights to qualify the argument. I say that no, he has enough fights. He just doesn't have fluff. There's really not a lot of fluff in his resume. Most of it
Usyk-
is title fights.
Like Usyk doesn't have the 30 fucking flights of fluff like Jerome Booth Ennis.
Yeah. You know that shit doesn't make your resume better. You know that.
Yeah, I don't think it was Usyk's fault. He didn't fight 25 cab drivers in Tijuana.
You know what should he have done? Should he have fought Derek 3 times like Fury to make
Yeah,
his
like,
resume
so-
better?
But
No,
the
yeah,
Hall of
that's
Fame
how
is
you
very
get the Hall of
simple
Fame.
too. The Hall of Fame is very simple, like in other sport. Like if you got to think about it, there's just some guys that are clear cut. Like in any era, Usyk wins a belt.
Yeah, but what I would say is because that's bringing the focus back over to the AJ argument later on. The focus right now, the question for right now is: do you, Drew, believe that just the act of going undisputed should guarantee you a spot in the Hall. We got 3 no's. No, we got like 4 no's so far, and only 1 yes. What do you say?
No, because I need the nuance. If it's just 1 win and undisputed, no.
Okay, that's 5 no's. That's 5 no's. Gooch says, "How the fuck is Stank Davis too soon to tell?" Yo, and he's 30.
No, fuck, he's 30,
Hey,
bro. He's talking about
5 weeks.
retirement.
Funny thing, we're 5 weeks out and no date, Jules, no tickets, no
Bro,
nothing.
I saw that.
He gonna
I don't. I saw that, and I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to be presumptuous or nothing, but you need 8 weeks to
No,
promote.
that fight doesn't happen, bro. So it's over. It's not happening.
So I mean, like, unless they move it, unless it's not on the 16th, and they move it to later in the month, or maybe if they kick it.
And you're gonna need that much more time to prepare for Lamont Roach.
12 to 1 underdog, by the way.
Didn't they
12 to 1 underdog.
hold on, didn't they fucking move it back the first time too?
Yeah, they did because it got
Right.
moved to August, and now I mean, like, they could always move it to September. They could always move it to October. That, you know, they might have to, because I'm like, how the fuck you gonna promote this thing? It's only 5 weeks. It's really 5 or 6 weeks. August 16th. That's what, 5 or 6 weeks from now. So
Question for the panel: do you guys think that they're gonna try to, like, I guess, like, revenge for Lamont Roach trying to actually win? They're gonna just try to, like, kill his career for the next couple of years, or at least a year.
I mean, like, what you mean, like stall him out?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like how they did fucking damn,
I
what was
mean,
his name?
I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out, but the shit is that, well, they did say that there's a rematch clause or something like that. Did they say that? Because I'm like, it was scored a draw.
Let's be real, bro. If there's a rematch clause, it's not for Lamont Roach.
No, but the other thing is that shouldn't Lamont, if this is taking too long, shouldn't he be able to leave? There's nothing to hold you to that fight.
Well, I don't know how, like, you don't know how, like, long it's binding or anything, or it. Honestly, I don't know. It's a PBC contract. I can't, like, say what's in it or
Yeah,
not.
but how could you have a rematch clause on a draw?
Didn't someone notify the first the rematch clause in the Fury and Wilder fight?
Yeah, like, how could you I gotta fight you again and it was a draw? Like, ain't nobody won, nobody lost. Luis said no, it shouldn't count, because if Rolly pulls it, and Rolly is not gonna be undisputed champion.
Don't put that evil in the universe.
Now here's the meat and potatoes of tonight. We got this list published by Boxing Scene. They've got Anthony Joshua as a maybe for the Hall of Fame. I'm going to start with Drew. If it were up to you, Drew, does he get into the Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Why?
2-time unified heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, brought the heavyweight division back, the renaissance of, like, bringing money to the division, bringing acclaim. His overall contribution to the sport of boxing and his accomplishments warrant a Hall of Fame nod.
Okay, so that's 1 yes. Alex, same question.
Bro, hold on. Like, that sure shots. Is that fucking Chocolatito, bro? What the fuck?
We're going to
Spit
get
the
to that.
cum out of your mouth,
Wait.
bro.
Don't fucking get distracted, Alex.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. Start over with question.
Distracted, because I know what you see.
Yeah. I see some shit, and then I see something after that, and I'm like, hold up, I got another question. Wait, what the fuck?
So if it were up to you, would he get into the Hall?
No.
He wouldn't.
Not yet. No.
Oh, not yet.
Okay. He said no. Don't fucking argue with him. He said no.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, like, when you say not yet, you mean, like, there's, like, a chance that he could still make it on?
I mean, the future's unwritten, bro. Like, I mean, are the odds good? Probably not. But, like, now, no.
Oh,
Okay.
Shit.
I mean, hold on. You said that because of his losses or what?
No, wait a minute. I gotta go to fucking Fig. Fig, stop changing your fucking name, dog. I'm not gonna call you Papa, bro. I don't have a father, bro. Does he get into the Hall of Fame? Okay. Well,
I agree. Okay, so that's somebody that's taking
Solid
space.
decision right there. Rock it back that one up. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, honestly, when you're right, you're right, you know, and that's the way it is. Let's go over to Andre. Does Anthony Joshua deserve to get into the Hall of Fame, in your opinion?
maybe I'm agree with this fella who said that he has made a big contribution to the sport, but also important fights he has lost those important fights. And let me see, and the same thing I was saying before, right, about the level of opposition. I don't know if it makes the cut to enter into the Hall of Fame. If I'm not
Who knows?
much agree with Usyk entering the Hall of Fame, I don't think Joshua does.
Two knows. We're down to 2. Jason, does he get into the Hall in your opinion? Would you put him in the Hall? Is the question.
Hand on heart, I'd move Fury down to the Pro Bowls before I move AJ up to sure shots. So no, he doesn't get in the Hall for me.
3 no's. Don, does AJ get into the Hall on your watch?
No.
Shit, that was fast.
No, look at how he acted when.
Were you so fast,
look at how he acted when Usyk won. I mean,
come on, he threw a tantrum.
Yeah, what's
Dude,
up
what
with
the
this
fuck was that?
fucking
I
moral
mean,
high ground
lose
bullshit,
like a
bro? They
man.
punch themselves for a living.
Hold on, he's asking me. Lose like a fucking man. Take your shit. Take your L and go home. You got paid millions of dollars. Why do you have to throw the belts out of the ring like a little bitch? I lost a lot of respect for Joshua that day. I'm sorry, but no, fuck no.
He doesn't give a fuck about your respect.
We got 4 fucking no's. I gotta fucking move.
When he got knocked out by Howard the Duck, I was proud. I was like, oh, good. Thank God.
Real
talk. AJ took your bitch.
Well, you shut the fuck up. Real talk. Does he get in on your watch?
Hey, like I said, bro, if it's up to me, yeah, I put him in the Hall, bro, because he contributed a lot.
4 yeses, 2 yeses, 4 no's. Contra, does he get in on your watch? Is he still jerking off?
He's massaging his balls.
What the fuck is he doing, bro?
Sure, maybe he fell asleep.
Napoli.
Let me text him.
Let me go to Ray. Ray, does he get in on your watch?
For the contributions to boxing, I will say yes.
Okay. So we got 4 no's, 3 yeses. Napoli said
yes.
That sounded like a yes.
Say Gotti, yes.
Napoli said, to be honest, Jules, if Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Arturo Gatti are in the Hall, Lomachenko goes in. No, because Gatti has a fight, and I don't think it's the best argument, but he has a fight that is more famous and that will be remembered for a very long time. Loma doesn't have a fight like that.
Gotti has the quintessential show this to someone they're a boxing fan for life fight. Like,
yeah, I know a lot of people use him as the crutch for arguments because he didn't have the best career. He was never really pound for pound, but he did something that lasts the test of time. Whereas, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go back and watch Loma versus Rocky Martinez?
So that falls under contribution to the sport, correct?
Yes, it falls in that tax bracket.
So how the fuck does AJ not get in, you nimwits?
Now, with me, I would vote AJ in. Easy, he's a 2-time heavyweight champion. People don't realize how many heavyweight champions, after they lost the title, they never fucking got it back. It's like 5 guys that got it back. So just that by itself is strong. What else is strong, at least in my opinion, is he was a unified champion. The Joseph Parker that's still tearing shit up now, AJ beat him years ago, all right? He has one of the stronger resumes in the heavyweight division. I don't think he gets credit for that he fought more contenders consecutively than anybody else while unifying titles. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion. He's an Olympic gold medalist. And frankly, the influx of money that the heavyweight division has seen in the last 10 years is all because of him. Because nobody was watching that shit. Nobody was watching that shit.
Go even further. Wait. Go even further, Jules. If it wasn't for him, would Saudi be even involved in boxing?
No, he brought the Saudis to the table before anybody. The Ruiz rematch, people tend to forget, was paid for by the Saudis. Now, it wasn't Turkey. It was Skills Challenge. But still, he been did that. He been doing that.
He was the predecessor to Turkey getting involved, you know?
Contra. On your watch, does Anthony Joshua get into the Hall of Fame? Meaning, would you induct him into the Hall of Fame?
Fuck yeah, dude! He was up there with Canelo. I told you before. He was up there with Canelo and shit and earning power. He had a lot of great fights. Definitely, I would.
So that's 5-4, 5-4
No
on the
question.
panel.
The funny thing is, though, with AJ, the only two criticisms he get is crybabies how he handled the Usyk loss, and motherfuckers mad that he gets bitches. That's
He
the
gets
only
a lot of
criticism.
bitches.
That's
He
the
gets a lot
only
of bitches.
criticism he gets. It's weird.
Because for somebody, one of the things that I really don't like is, there was some big fights or some things that went wrong for him, granted, but there were things that went wrong for Mike Tyson, and he's in the fucking Hall of Fame. There were things that went wrong for Evander Holyfield, for Riddick Bowe. They're in the fucking Hall of Fame. So it's like, what, because he lost to Ruiz, but he got his lick back, though. He did get his lick back. I think there should be a trilogy, personally. He lost to
Okay, I'm not the only person who thinks that needs a rubber match.
Yeah, and he did better
Yeah,
against
he
Usyk
does.
than fucking Fury.
Right. Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Papa Foundry had the mute button on my mic on accident. Well, accidents happen, bro. If there were one person in that top column, Don, that you could remove from the sure shots, who would it be? Are you getting your glasses?
I agree with him.
It's not a bad point.
But I mean, like,
I'm trying to look.
What, you guys can't see those guys?
I could see.
I can see, I can see all the
I
faces.
would-
Hey, I'm wondering why Nanito Donaire is on there among active fighters. He's not an active fighter.
He is an active fighter. He just fought in an interim fight.
He did?
Don't
Yes,
fucking
yeah.
say that. You're gonna fucking get Rachel on here.
Honestly,
I'm
I
not
would pull,
playing. He just
I didn't know, bro. I missed it. I fucking missed it, bro.
I would pull, I
gonna
would,
get on your ass, bro.
question. All right, let me go to Alex then,
I
because
would
fucking
pull
Don.
Fury. I would pull Fury out of there.
Wait. Let me come to you, country. Wait. Let me go to Alex first. Alex, if there's one person in that top column that you think does not deserve to be there, that they're not a shoo-in to get into the hall, in your opinion, who is it?
Very simple. Sure shots category. Look at every face, every fighter. Fury is the only one who never transcended weight classes.
So you're saying that because he's a heavyweight?
No, not because he's a heavyweight. Because what I'm saying is, like, the only person that really gave him problems, any real problems, was a dude who came up from a lower weight.
Okay.
And he stayed at heavyweight.
That's
Got
not
it. We all know.
Dominic German beat him.
You know, we all do. We all get down with. Well, most of us get down with the pound. You know, pound for pound has nothing to do with heavyweight. It's different, right? That's how I see it. But like,
But you're
look
saying
at
that
every- look
because
what
he
everyone
never,
else has accomplished
because he
compared
was
to
never
Fury.
a multi-weight champion, you're saying you would move him off of the sure shots.
If he did better at heavyweight, then I would keep him there. But no, like I'm not knocking him for not. But like these dudes, man, transcended weight classes, like they just accomplished way more than him, more titles, like, you know, multiple unifications and undisputeds in there. Like he's not any of that. So, like, I mean, if
You
you're
know what's a little annoying, though? Like,
weight, and that's all you got,
So
you got to master it, bro.
So you take off. Okay, so Alex would take off Fury.
I'm taking off Fury.
Devontae, out of all them guys in that top column that are supposed to be sure shots to get into the hall, if you could remove one guy, who would it be and why?
It pains me to say this, but Bivol.
Really?
Yeah, how do you not have better Beav up there?
Ooh.
Better beat Bivol for undisputed to become undisputed, and he went to every champion to collect the belts.
That's a good point. And you're only 1-1 with him right now. You know, if we're going off of the now and the now, he beat you. Yeah, you beat him, but that's after he beat you.
But my counter to that would be, well, Bivol beat Canelo and him. So on 2 pound for pound fighters, 2 undisputed champions.
But at what weight though? He didn't move up.
It still doesn't matter. He's still the record books don't say at what weight. He's just
Okay,
like,
Drew.
who'd you beat?
Hold on, Drew. How many active champions did he beat?
Oh shit!
It's the. I'm talking about the ring and active champions.
Hold on. How many undisputed defenses do we have?
Oh,
He's about to have one right now.
He's cooking. He's cooking.
Come on, Drew.
That's a good
He's about to have one.
I ain't gonna lie. He's kind of convincing me, Drew.
But he's only beat one. But they're not gonna. When they break it down, the casuals like, who did he beat?
No,
He
that's
beat
not.
Canelo.
That's not what we're doing, Drew. So don't be obtuse. I'm not asking.
I'm not being
you what they
obtuse.
would
Like
do.
when you
You're
when
being
you go to the Hall of
obtuse.
Fame.
You're saying no. The question was, who would you, not them, who would you remove and why? We already know they're a bunch of sentimental fucks, so we can't go off of them. I'm asking you, Drew, in that top column, who do you think doesn't deserve to be there?
Fuck it, because I don't like him. Gallo.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Damn.
Fuck him.
Wow.
Damn.
He's played around to it, but I'm more pissed off at the long shot column and not having Joseph Parker.
I
Well,
mean,
look at those guys there.
we'll circle back for Joseph Parker because there's something that needs to be said about Joseph that isn't
He
being
should be a
said.
probable.
There's something about him that isn't being said. Andre, out of the guys that are in the top that are supposed to be shoo-ins, who would you remove?
Maybe Gallo, because he hasn't done that much besides the fights with Chocolatito. And I think Bivol was elevated in 2017, I think.
Yeah, he was.
And what else, like, really relevant has he done? I think winning over Canelo and these two fights with Beterbiev, right?
Bueno, también he beat Zerto, and that's a win that's aging pretty fucking good. The win over Zerto.
Yeah, you can say sort of in a very bad shape, but yeah, it counts.
Okay,
But-
okay, so you'd remove either Gallo or Bivol. You've got two. You'd remove either Gallo or Bivol.
Yeah. Well, I think it's difficult. I would go Bivol.
Okay. Two guys want to remove Bivol. Jason, one guy, you got to kick him out. Who is it?
I'm torn between Fury and Bivol. Fuck it, I'll say Fury because to me he has a lot of the same problems as AJ. Overhyped record. Only a couple wins that I think really age well. The difference is AJ at least has an Olympic gold medal, and we all know I'm the Fury fan on the panel, but Fury.
Oh shit! I think that's two for Fury. Don, who's getting kicked off? It's a good point.
Great point. Pulitzer stuff.
I never heard it that way before, Don. Got a lot of guys taking up space tonight. Real talk, who's getting kicked off?
If you asking me, it's the only guy on that fucking line who's got a dumbass face.
Who's the fucking dumbass face?
I mean, there's a couple of them there, brother. You got to narrow it down.
Talking about Fury, bro.
Yeah,
Talking
narrow
about
it
Fury.
down, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Help us out here.
Fucking
The guy that worries about
Look,
everybody
Brady,
else's
he
Corey.
slipped into a fucking diabetic coma. He doesn't tell us who he's talking about. He just goes silent.
I think he said
fucking
Fury.
Fury, bro. Fuck that guy. Look at his dumbass.
Okay,
face.
so three Fury. There's a lot of people that don't want Fury up there. Country. One guy you can kick off the top shelf. Who is it?
Oh, I'm kicking Fury right off the bat.
God damn.
I'm switching Beterbiev and Bivol, even though Bivol won this last fight. I'm switching them. I'm pulling Wilder off the probable list.
No,
He
wait,
doesn't
wait,
belong
you
there.
don't fucking
You're going ahead.
chew
Fucking give
your
us some.
food, bro. What the fuck? Chew
Give
your
us some
food.
foreplay,
bitch,
bro.
we're
You're going
40
straight to
minutes
fucking.
into this shit. We gotta
I'm
You're
flesh
going
this
straight
shit
to
out.
penetration.
I didn't even
All
get the
right,
fucking
all right,
Ray.
all
He
right,
wants to write a
God damn
fucking
it.
book.
I'm pulling
Lick the
Fury.
pussy a little bit, bro. Fuck.
Ray. One guy you can kick off that top shelf. Who is it?
Bivol was very close from the arguments, but he actually beat Zerto when he's been undisputed. He's got a win over, 2 pound-for-pound fighters? Maybe even 3 if you want to count Zerto. Fury, on the other hand, nah, bro. I'm going to be so honest. The second, and it's fucked up to say this because people are going to say this is what's wrong with boxing, but in his case, this statement is actually true because of kind of how bad his competition is besides the Vlad fight. Yeah, besides the Vlad fight. I can't even finish that, but Ryler sucks too.
No. I mean, if you really think about it, there's 3 or 4 guys up there, right, that did something that Fury didn't do. Canelo, Usyk, Crawford, Inoue all became undisputed champions. Well, Fury can't
And
fucking
Bivol.
say that, right? Oh, right, and Bivol, that's 5. Fury can't fucking say that. That
But-
counts against him.
I'll say it's like this. The problem with
Yeah,
Fury is
those 5 are
by-
the only people that need to be up there.
by any metric, Fury is not a Hall of Famer. I don't think you brought enough excitement or a lot of anything to the sport. I think a lot of your excitement was based off of AJ.
I agree with
I
that.
don't think you brought in terms of your resume, it's just Vlad. And it's an old Vlad that a lot of people said was not fighting that well.
I think,
And then
I agree
after
with
that, it's
everything
over.
you're saying because Fury leaves the heavyweight division when he did, and it wasn't what it was 2 years later. 2 years later, it was a vibrant, thriving heavyweight division. People were excited. There were fights to be made. You came in on AJ's coattails. You won those belts in 2015, and no one fucking cared. No one. It was a horrible fight with Vlad, right? And you just absconded. I would say that if I have a hot take, it's that Fury doesn't have a Hall of Fame career. Bullshit. He doesn't
No,
have
I
one.
agree. That's not a hot
Doesn't
take,
ha-
bro.
Is your elbow
No,
okay? You
but
been
no-
jacking off too much?
I've been jerking off with the left, man. This is fucking.
Oh wait, I forgot to finish my sentence for the last one. I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say this, and it was the part that was messed up. The second he stopped being undefeated was as fast as he stopped being a Hall of Fame fighter.
I agree with that. I don't think.
Also, he has one of the most embarrassing moments
Moments in
in ring
boxing.
moments in boxing history. That Francis Ngannou fight was
I
inexcusable.
forgot about that.
No. Honestly, that if I look
So
at
is it being
when I look
dominated
at
or is it getting down?
when I look at that top shelf, even Bivol, right, with his loss to Artur Beterbiev, he still did something else that you didn't do. It's not just that, oh yeah, he became undisputed, but he got his lick back. See, you tried to get your lick back with Usyk. It didn't work. He beat you again. Bivol got his lick back, came undisputed. So I'm in agreement that if anybody on that top shelf shouldn't be there, it's Tyson Fury. Now, for the second part, if there was somebody in that second column that you could move up, that you could promote, who would it be?
Better be, but ain't even close.
Shit, that was fast.
AJ, and yes, it is close.
2 for Beterbiev, 1 for AJ.
Beterbiev or Kenshiro, the one of those two I would put up.
You
Actually, no,
pick-
I'm gonna say
No,
Kenshiro.
no,
I'm gonna say
all right,
Kenshiro.
no, you're just being an asshole now, bro.
Fucking
I'm not.
hipster.
He's not. No,
How?
you are. You are. You know you are.
How?
You know you are. You're telling me that you would promote Kenshiro over AJ. Stop, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm
They
thinking
both-
about actual achievements. I wasn't thinking about like a dude that I wasn't thinking about the other shit. That's my bad.
So,
but
so you're telling me then? You're telling me with a straight fucking face that you think Kenshiro's career is more impressive than AJ's?
Nah,
As
I
of
gotta
now-
clarify that.
oh, sorry. Continue. You do
No,
want to say
you're
something over
good,
me?
bro. I'm interrupting you.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
Such fucking assholes.
For real? Why are you doing that shit?
I was gonna say, what's it called? In terms of like, I think at the weights that Kenshiro has, he's been more dominant force at those weight classes than AJ has been at heavyweight.
Wow. Oh, no, all right, all right.
Even that one loss, like let's say like that one loss that he has against Yabuki, like that dude actually became like a 2-weight divisional champion afterwards. It's not like he
And
went
he
on
beat-
to do nothing like Andy Ruiz.
And he beat his ass in this rematch.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, all right,
and
all
he
right. So
fucked
we
him
got look, we got 2 Beterbiev, 1 AJ, 1 Kenshiro.
I gotta go to Beterbiev too, bro, because I thought about it. Beterbiev went undisputed. AJ didn't cross.
That's true. All right then. So we got 3 Beterbiev, 1 Kenshiro. Drew, what say you? Is there anybody there in that second column that you would promote to the top?
Because I get bitches, but on a smaller scale, I'm putting Oluwafemi up there.
Oluwafemi, bro. I'm with
What
you.
kind of
Oluwafemi
bitches?
gotta go
Did
there.
you say it, Jules? I know.
What
I
kind
know
of
some of the.
bitches?
I know you said it, Jules, on the probables. Like, because of what Zerto's done, he's getting in, isn't he?
I mean,
Just being
to
a
me-
Mexican, doing the
Bro, I
the
already,
first Mexican.
like
Yeah.
people don't pay attention that Zerto was literally the first Mexican-born super middleweight champion. He is the first Mexican-born cruiserweight champion. He is unified. I know it don't seem like a lot, but those are earmarks that like, yo, there was never a Mexican cruiserweight champion before. Those are
That's history.
earmarks.
That's literally history being made.
That's history. Alex, who in the second column would you promote to the top?
Bro, this is ridiculous. Without question, better be even anyway. Like, what are we talking about? Stop the
No,
madness.
that's not Inoue in the column, bro. That's Kenshiro.
Racism.
Racist. Stop
Hey, man, let me
racism.
zoom in.
It's fucking
Bro.
racist.
You know, he's literally right above him.
Hey, dog. Hey, here's the best part, bro. I looked at it as best as I could and still thought it was Inoue.
Fucking racist, man. So
Nah, I
better
can't.
beef.
Better, yeah,
But better beef.
We got to put better
Devontae.
beef out there. Yeah,
Devontae.
yeah.
Let me go to Devontae. Devontae, who in the second column would you promote to the top?
AJ. AJ.
Okay.
I guess.
That's my daughter.
That's cute. All right, Andre. Anybody in that second column that you would move to the top?
Better beef, hands down.
A lot of guys want better beef up there. I understand why. There's a credible argument. He fought a good number of champions. He did become undisputed. He gave Bivol his first loss. Strong track record. Dominant reign. You know, honestly, they both had very dominant reigns, Artur and Dimitri, because remember, they became champions in fucking 2017, bro. And this motherfucker
But the difference in the dominance of their reigns, though, is that it took Bivol's dominance to stop Better Biev's 100% knockout ratio, dominance.
Yeah. Third column, guys. In the third column, who there? There's Danny Garcia. There's Keith Thurman. There's Jamal. There's Jermel. There's Lara. There's El Vaquero. There's Quadras. There's who the fuck is that? That's Rigo. Who the fuck is that? Is that Ryan Garcia? Why the
That
fuck?
looks like Broner.
Yes, that's Ryan Garcia.
What the?
Bro, that looks like Broner and
Is
Garcia.
that Ryan Garcia?
Is that
Wait, hold on.
Bro,
That's what I was gonna say before.
Yo, dog, I said that was Rigo. I need to get my fucking glasses. I thought that
Bro,
was
that's Broner, dog. Like, yo,
I'm just glad that David
man,
Benavidez is nowhere to be found here.
No, let's get fucking spicy, fellas, because this one's gonna have two prongs.
Oh shit!
Out of that list of guys, out of that fucking list of guys, who has a Hall of Fame career?
Can I X out all of them?
Honestly, I hate to say this.
Don't cop out.
I hate to say this. The only one with the accomplishments and the vacant titles and all the bullshit is fucking Broner.
You can say that about Vaquero, bro. Come on.
But
Bro,
but I'm saying it's strictly on the hype and Broner's for the culture. You know how that shit's gonna weigh in.
Nah.
Hey, Jules, I got a hot take to answer that one. I got a hot take.
Good.
All right, so my hot take is out of the long shots, I think Jermel with an E. He's the only one on that list that sat undisputed, and his only loss was at 2 weight classes above his own weight class.
Well, no, that's not his only loss, bro. He lost to Tony Harrison.
And he fucking got on his bike against Canelo, man. Fuck.
Yeah, but it's not a bad point that out of that crop of guys in that third column, he is the only one who was undisputed.
You know what I mean? And it was and there was no questionable path to his undisputed. You know what I mean? Like, so
he went through the guys. Andre, out of that list, out of that third column, who has a Hall of Fame worthy sort of career?
Let me see. I don't really know. Maybe the one I like the most is Jermel.
Everybody seems to be leaning on Jermel. Jason?
Put a gun to my head, Jermel. He's the only one who went undisputed, and he belt hunted to get undisputed. So,
Country.
Not a huge fan, but I got to agree with these guys, and not because they're saying so, but because I feel
that's exactly why. That's why you felt the need to say
off.
that.
I actually feel like he's the most accomplished. Although Broner is right behind him, but I think Jermel's better.
Yeah. You thought that after you heard 4 guys pick Jermel.
No,
right.
Fuck you, man. Fuck out of here.
Out of that list of the guys in the third column, who would you promote to the Hall of Fame?
I only get one, or I get multiple.
You get all right. If you get one, but it's interchangeable. Like, you know.
Okay, so first pick Jermel, second pick Navarrete.
Okay. That's
No, you got me.
Yeah, all I gotta say is get Ryan Garcia's bitch ass out of there.
I mean, that's reasonable.
Absolutely.
That's reasonable. I'll get down with that.
Absolutely.
I don't know why he's there. I don't understand why he's there. I literally don't understand. Like,
Wait. Let's all think about this for a second. Somebody really at Boxing Scene was trying to make this list, and they said, "All right, bro, I think it's too soon to tell with Teofimo Lopez, a 2-time lineal champion. I think it's too soon to tell with Bam Rodriguez, a guy who should be a 2-time lineal champion.
You know what I mean?
Too soon to tell with Nakatani too. 3 division champion and unified.
Like
Daniel, bro.
Too soon with Devin Haney.
Yes, bro.
Undisputed.
It's like
Like,
well,
who
you
the
got
fuck made
Ryan
this
there,
shit?
bro.
But guess what? Ryan Garcia never won a title in his life. It's a long shot, but he might make it.
God,
Well,
no,
I feel
no,
like-
no,
I feel like-
1 million
He
pay-per-view
does
buys.
have a lot of Instagram followers. He
Bro,
does.
Ryan
I
Garcia
feel like,
is
I
the
feel like a
Panchito
high school
Mojado
teenage
of
girl
the
who dabbles in boxing made this list.
So now we've gotten through the long shots. Here's a second question. Doesn't get asked often enough. Who had a better career in your opinion, Keith Thurman or Errol Spence?
That's a bad
Thurman.
question.
Keith
Wait,
Thurman.
whoa. Did I just get hit by a flashbang? Did everybody just say Thurman?
That's
Last time I checked, when Thurman lost, he
question,
didn't
bro.
fucking quit.
Real talk. The talk is real. Who had a better career, Keith Thurman or Errol Spence?
Bro, it's Keith Thurman, and it's not even arguable. Like, you can say that Spence unified titles and all that gay shit, but let's be real. That's all due to politics and Al Heyman, spoon feeding him titles. At the end of the day, when Thurman lost, he didn't hang him up, and fucking
It's
Errol
true.
Spence was just a gigantic hype job.
That's true. Keith might have lost. But he came back. He did beat Jock Barvis. Ray. He did. Ray, who had a better career?
Okay, so first I'll quickly counter that point. Keith didn't get the soul beaten out of him his last fight, bro. Like let's be so real on that.
That does
Bro,
count
Keith
against
Thurman
And then-
came back and beat the great Mario Barrios. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you arguing about here, bro? He defeated.
Bro,
Shut the fuck
whatever-
up.
hey,
No,
hey,
shut
listen.
the fuck up. He defeated the great Mario Barrios, bro. This isn't even an argument.
Hey, listen, whatever list is below long shots, that's where fucking both of those motherfuckers belong. Dog. Let's keep it real, bro. Don't ask that question.
No, they
bro.
belong under the list that's under that
Yeah, I
list.
mean, like, bro, that question's a setup, B. You can't.
Now, come on, Alex. You think one more than the other, though, that who had a better career in your
I
opinion?
mean,
It's terrible. That's just
I
not
would see like
even a
this. You
question.
break it down on paper, then fucking little
Okay.
Florida boy. You know what I mean?
No.
He got
All
it.
right, so you just seen it, fucking Ray. Alex thinks Keith had a better career.
Yeah,
Alex,
like-
in
Why,
your
though?
opinion, that's what I was going. Alex, why is Keith's career better
Because he,
than Errol's?
what at the time when he was doing his thing and he was, who he used to be, he was fighting all the top fighters. He fought good fighters. Like Errol fought trash cans, and then once in a while fought somebody you might have heard of. Like, and then his one
I
big
want
fight,
to counter my
annihilated,
own
bro.
argument.
Like.
Come on. You can't give yourself a stranger. There's like 10 people up here, bro.
'Cause
Jason.
what I'm saying is, like,
Counter my own argument. Fuck off.
Errol, here's the thing. Errol
I
never.
did- You could say that Errol has a better career just based off of how much he made. That he probably didn't do
Real
much
talk.
great,
That's kind of what I'm alluding to. That what makes Errol's career better? Career accolades, or that he was on pay-per-view?
You know what, man?
Hmm.
I think
I would
that
probably say the accolades because his pay-per-views weren't really that successful, so that's not really much of a.
His most
Much
successful
to brag
pay-per-view
off.
is the one where he damn near got killed.
Yeah, and you know what? Most of his
Yeah.
pay-per-views were on
That was
PBC,
his
and
last
PBC
fight,
don't put
you know,
anybody on
thank you.
pay-per-view. So
Yeah, that's the other thing that, like, bro, David Benavidez is on pay-per-view. Does that mean he's fucking?
Wait,
fucking
Yeah.
like,
But
Errol's
there's-
a narrative
hang
boy.
on.
Errol's a narrative boy,
Also,
bro. He's more of a narrative boy.
Let's put it this way: who was Keith Thurman's best win, and who was Errol Spence's best win?
Honestly,
say worse.
No. That's a better question than you
It's probably
think.
Sean Porter
That-
for both.
No,
of
no,
them.
that's a better. No. It's a better question than you think because while Kell Brook beat Sean, right? That's not the whole story. The Kell Brook that Errol fought was a damaged fighter coming off a loss.
Oh, they were literally just talking about that earlier today over on IBFP. Guy was trying to be like, "Oh, well, he broke Hill's face," and but the argument is that Triple G broke his face first, and guy was like, "Well, he broke the other eye." He was like, "Well, yeah, but it's a fucking half of his face is broken. That means his face is compromised."
Bro, they were wild on IBFP.
Rachel's
earlier.
in
I was listening to that
Rachel's
shit.
in
They
the
were tripping.
chat, and she's kind of mad.
I
know
fucking
what-
told y'all she was gonna come for y'all. I said
didn't-
she was gonna
I
come
didn't
for
say.
y'all.
No, I didn't say Nonito was a long shot. I didn't say shit. I didn't say that. Mr. Calderon said as a long shot not listed. What's a better nomination you guys can think of? Mine would be Donaire. Oh, so that's
Donaire's in the sure shot category though.
Yeah, like I think Donito's a sure shot because
Yeah,
he's a four-way champion. He's a four-way
Yeah,
champion.
yeah,
like
he's going
a
in.
short
If
shot.
Donaire's not a Hall of Famer, none of these guys are Hall of Famers. The fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, like what the fuck? Yeah,
That's
like,
that's
Man,
that's,
y'all just
that's
not
the
trying to
given.
get y'all ass whooped by Rachel. Shut up.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
we all have women. Y'all know y'all gonna get y'all ass chewed out.
I don't want to get my ass chewed out.
Listen, I think Keith Thurman would have knocked out Mikey Garcia, in my opinion.
Hell no.
Shit. Do you guys agree?
No.
Absolutely.
No, not even now, bro.
Wait, Ray, you don't agree with that. You don't think he would have
I
knocked
don't
him out.
agree with anything positive that I'm hearing about Keith Thurman right now. I'll be so weak. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I'm hearing all of this bullshit, bro.
Did
Like,
you say that Thurman would Mikey?
Wait. I have a question for Ray. Wouldn't you say that the Sean Porter that Keith Thurman fought in 2016 was better than? Oh shit! Oh shit!
There
It
you
was
go.
quick.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, you wasted no time with that.
You know, I would say that there is something to be said there, honestly, because I don't really think Errol's career is impressive, and I said it for years that he's kind of moving backwards. If the best guy you fought was Brooke, and Brooke beat Sean, and Sean beat Ugas, okay, well, you don't really have a resume then, bro. You've been moving backwards, you know. Whereas Keith, he did take Danny Garcia's O. Danny was undefeated before Keith fought him. Sean. Come on, Danny. Come on. DSG, Danny Swift. He gave him his first loss. I personally think the Sean Porter that Keith fought is better than the Brook that Errol fought, because the Brook that Errol fought was coming off a loss, a smashed eye, a huge weight cut.
That's obvious, though, isn't it? Is that not obvious? Or
And
I thought it was.
Brownies.
I will say all this for Keith Thurman as well. Didn't the two fights with Porter and Garcia do massive numbers on free TV? Like those were two legitimately big events.
Especially the Garcia fight. That was big.
Bro, wait. So, what do you guys think Spence's best win is actually?
Kell Brook.
You think it's Kell Brook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his best win on paper and off of the eye is Kell Brook.
The biggest argument
I
to
always
me
thought
for
his
Spence
best
being
win
over,
was like
hang on, bro. The biggest argument to me for Spence over Thurman is that Thurman blatantly ducked him. Like, to me, that's
Yes. Yeah, but we're comparing their careers, not necessarily who would have won if they fought.
So can I compare the careers real quick?
Okay.
3 world champions to Thurman's, like, I think 1 or 2 maybe. No, just 1. Yeah, 3 champions to Thurman's 1. Unified. Thurman's never been that. And realistically,
Thurman was unified. What are you talking about?
He was.
WBC.
WBC and WBA. My bad. Spence just unified more. I don't really see where Thurman is getting any of this. Errol Spence is quite literally just the more accomplished fighters. Thurman did not fight better guys than Errol Spence because Errol Spence fought the same guys.
I think, honest to God, it only seems that way because for a large portion of Errol's reign as a champion, he wasn't even fucking fighting. In 2020, he fought once. That was Danny. He's still recovering from the car accident. In 2021, I don't even think he fought that year. One of those years he didn't fight. It was either 2021 or 2022. You're supposed to fight Pacquiao. Yeah, it's 2021. You're supposed to fight Pacquiao. Eye gets busted. Ugas steps in. Okay, then he fights Ugas in 2022. So you're looking at 3 years where he fought 2 times, right?
Yeah.
Next fucking year, Terrence
That's that John Jones schedule.
Right?
But isn't like Keith Thurman not known for the world's most inactive fighter at the time too? Like,
yes,
I don't see the point.
What I'm arguing is that even though they both had long stints of inactivity, Errol's reign lasted through his inactivity. See what I mean? So it only seems like he's head and shoulders better. It's a perception thing that, well, yeah, he's inactive, but he got to keep his belts all throughout that. Keith didn't. That's the difference. Like, dog, the dude had 2 fights in 3 years. Then in 2023, we all saw what happened.
Well, I don't know if it counts, but even if you compare their losses, Thurman lost split decision to Pacquiao, and look how he lost. How Errol Spence lost to Crawford.
That's a horrible comparison. No, you
come
lost
on,
to a
come on.
Pacquiao that was 1 billion years old.
Yeah.
And look what happened when that same Pacquiao walked in there with Ugas.
Yeah, but that was 2 years after the Thurman fight. And on
And it was
short.
Hey,
last
bro.
minute
Hey, bro.
replacement.
All
Yeah,
I'm
that was a
thinking is,
replacement, bro.
I saw an old man fight. Okay, Jeff Horn then.
No, all right. That's done.
All right. All right.
God damn it! All right.
Fucking bastard.
Done. You weren't here for the question. You were jerking off.
I was.
Look at that top column.
I was. I enjoyed it.
Hey,
too.
keeping it real, bro. I love it, man. Keep it real.
Done. Look
Yeah.
at that top column, right? The guys in the
No
top
offense.
column are intended to be shoo-ins to get into the Hall of Fame. But if
Okay.
you could get one of those guys off, if you could
Fury.
say, that was fast. Tyson Fury, you don't think he's
No.
Hall of Fame worthy?
No,
Hey, man.
He's the odd man out there.
no,
Hey, bro.
Yeah, my nigga.
no. He's a good fighter, but he's not great. He was never great.
Shit. Second column, if you could promote one fighter in the second column to the top column,
Maybe
Welcome to the home team, dog. That's
Everybody's,
what's up,
everybody's
dog.
going
Like
better
this
be.
guy.
In the third column, buy him a beer. In the third column, not that those resumes are great because they're fucking not. But if there's one guy on there who's sort of Hall of Fame worthy, who is it?
Jermel.
Okay.
My man.
Yeah, talk
Yo,
about
yo, he
bingo.
knows what's up.
A lot of people
Agree.
also a lot of people agree on that. Now, the too soon to tell column, I think the guy was just on drugs at that point. It's too soon to tell.
Column.
It's too soon to tell if Bam. It's too soon to tell if Teofimo. Like, really, fam? Really? But Ryan is in the third column.
I know. That's
Yeah, how the
retarded.
fuck did that happen?
So I think the person that made this list is probably Howard the Duck's retard cousin.
Yeah, Rolly probably made
May
the
as
fuck.
well.
Rolly.
Wait.
Yeah.
Rolly made that. Bro, Don just said that makes so much
No,
sense.
dude, Rolly
Rolly
wouldn't
made this list.
hold on. Rolly wouldn't waste his time making this list. Rolly's at home eating those guys' girlfriends' pussies. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
Fair.
that is what he's doing. He is.
No, that's
He does.
fair. No,
He gets bitches,
brings
man.
up a point.
He does get bitches, man. He does
Mhm.
get bitches.
No, but see, so the same things that we praise Rolly for, those are the same things that people hate AJ for. You realize that?
Honestly, he's reverse AJ.
He's
JA.
Bizarro AJ.
Wait, you know, I just realized the irony is
You gotta make this nigga Bizarro now, bro. Anytime you make a video, Rolly's gotta be
JA, bro.
Bizarro, bro.
JA. Go ahead, country.
He's Ja.
No, I was just laughing at something. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's it called? The irony is the too soon to tell category has more accomplished fighters than the long shots category.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's fucking
Like
weird.
by far, now that I think about it too. Besides like Virgil and Boots, I guess you could say Daniel too. I would say like everybody in the bottom row has accomplished more than everybody in the top row. Barring Navarrete and my bad, barring two guys, barring three guys, barring three guys.
Barring a couple
Barring
guys.
three
But you know
guys.
what's funny is that this list tells us that whoever made this list also doesn't believe that Undisputed is an automatic win into the Hall.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but Devin.
There's an
I mean,
undisputed
like,
champion in every row.
And you know what? Listen, if you understand how the Hall of Fame works and how they vote, Teofimo would be in probables. Like not
yeah.
too
Oh no,
soon
no,
to-
yeah. This was in
For
this
sure.
was in your opinion. You understand what I mean? That I'm
Yeah,
asking
I got you, fam. Yeah, and you know me, I don't do
because if we get into it, you know that fucking Wilder's probably gonna get in. You know that, right?
That's
Oh,
fucked
no.
up, dude.
That's
Oh,
painful.
that
He
is-
probably
Yeah.
is, bro.
That's severely lowering the bar because what fight did okay, maybe one fight that he had that I could say, oh shit, I'd watch that
Hilarious.
again. Which
Listen.
We're not saying he deserves it. We're just saying.
Yeah,
it probably is.
you know what I mean. That look to me, I would put Kenshiro in there before. You know that I might put Felipe Pergovic in there before Wilder. Okay, that's
All
how.
right,
That's how
Yeah.
fucked up
Okay, hang on
I
a
am.
second.
Wow.
Hang on.
That's how fucked
But
up I
his
am.
reign, how long he went, before he,
Because he has 10 defenses, because he wore a car battery to the ring walk for Fury, right? You know,
he wore a car battery.
He was a car battery in his chest. It weighed like 40 pounds. You know, he was tired.
He was the gatekeeper at the Eye of Mordor. You know, the whole thing.
He just had an anal gland cleaning.
Right. The Gooch said,
"Hey, that's Olympic bronze medalist Deontay Wilder. Y'all talking about
that
him?
shit's funny, man. A gatekeeper.
There's ever an argument against Loma's Olympic career after not being used for it. That's it. Wilder was an Olympic champion.
The list is obviously a casual list, and Rachel said, Jules, you have to consider that only 3 get in on a 50+ person list too. Okay, so let's go through an exercise. Alex, pick 3 guys on this list that get in. Go.
That's not.
They're automatically get in.
Come on, they're getting in.
Oh, that's easy. I'm going. Oh fuck, only 3. Fuck.
That's fucking easy, huh? Easy, huh?
No, fuck. I'm looking at the first 4 and I'm like, shit.
It's only 3, bro. Come on.
Okay. Fuck. I'm doing Inoue, Canelo, Usyk.
Okay. Inoue, Canelo, Usyk. Crawford's not getting in. Real talk?
That's Crawford, Canelo, Usyk.
Oh, shit. You're not going to let Inoue in? You fucking racist. Done.
Fuck you.
Bro, this is not fair, Jules. This ain't fair, bro.
Done.
They all get in. This ain't you.
Canelo, Usyk, Inoue.
Ooh.
Oh, Canelo, Usyk, Inoue. Okay. Country, go. Don't fucking be indecisive.
Canelo, shut up. Canelo, Inoue. All right, Canelo, Inoue, and AJ.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck, AJ?
Get out of here, bro. I'd rather you be indecisive than that bullshit.
He's jibbed tonight.
Hey, let it ride. No.
Hey, man, y'all tell me not to be the indecisive.
Let it ride, yo. Exactly. Let country live his best life. Let it ride.
Right? 3 guys, man. That's it. 3 guys.
All right, so I'm going with Usyk, Inoue, and whoever wins Crawford versus what's it called?
Fucking
Canelo.
bitch.
I'm going with the winner. That's a real answer. The winner gets to go in.
Okay,
I'm not picking right now.
Go to Drew. 3. That's it. No more. 3. Fucking Drew's jerking off. He comes up here. He mutes his mic. He goes to fucking jerk off. Devontae.
Canelo, Usyk, Chocolatito.
What?
That's spicy. That is
There's my reason. There's my reason.
Hey, Jules, how come every time you say jerk off, you turn to an Italian, bro?
Fucking jerk off.
You know what I mean?
Jerk off.
Go ahead, Devontae. What's your reasoning for putting Chocolatito ahead of so many other fighters?
His longevity, and then I feel like he's gonna retire for the Inoue and Crawford. So,
okay.
Well, like he's gonna walk out.
But that's arguable though, man. Like I won't even trip on that one call. Like you know what I mean? Like it's
no. I mean, look, because once you're talking about those guys, they all have Hall of Fame careers. You know,
if your metrics are reasonable, there's some people that have some separation that's not that serious. It's not worth
one out of the top 4
are Hall of Fame worthy at the top of the list.
Yeah,
all those guys are worthy except Fury on the top of the list. All of them. And
Jason.
This might gotta be This might gotta be the first year that we get 4 because that's bullshit.
Yeah, Jason, you can only pick 3 guys, bro.
Canelo, Inoue, Donaire.
Oh wow!
Hey, you just gotta suck up to Rachel. Fuck off.
No,
tu chicken cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu.
Now I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back.
Yo.
Oh, too big.
Bro, like so. You guys think Crawford's gonna have to be second ballot?
No, hell no. Crawford's first ballot, easy.
Yeah, he's American. I'm not gonna lie. That gets him in.
Like here's the thing. Jules was asking, "Hey, pick yours." I picked Canelo, Usyk anyway. But if you ask me who's first ballot, I'm telling you right now, just like like it was just previously said, bro. Like everybody except Fury is guaranteed.
You know
first
what?
ballot. Even Fury's.
It's gonna have to be those first 3 if it's like if we're stepping into the minds of the voters, it's gonna be those first 3. that are first ballot.
Yeah.
I think.
And
I
you know
should
what? The sad part
Usyk.
is, it's going to be hard for Inoue because the voters are fucking racist pieces of shit, and he's Japanese.
It's
What
not
were you
going to be
saying,
that
Chris?
hard, bro.
I think I should have said.
No, it
Usyk
shouldn't be.
over
It shouldn't
AJ.
be.
I
I'm
asked
telling you, it
country
shouldn't
question.
be.
What happened, country?
That's my one. I think that was my one mistake, but whatever. I picked who I picked.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you? I mean, you think AJ would get it, bro?
Huh?
Oh, wait, so that's who you would pick to get in?
Well, no. I picked Canelo, Inoue, and AJ, but I'm saying I probably should have said Usyk over AJ, but you know what? I picked who I picked, so I'll just stick with it.
Yeah. I don't think
Usyk's
AJ
the one I
deserves
think
first
is-
ballot, man. I don't think he deserves first ballot, but I
Usyk?
think
You don't
he'll
think
get it.
Usyk deserves first ballot?
I think Usyk
Absolutely.
deserves first ballot. Yes.
Usyk
But I think
deserves first
AJ. I
ballot.
think AJ gets in eventually. He's just not a first ballot guy.
I mean, I
Okay.
feel like Usyk's gonna get in just based off of the the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis. You know that's huge.
Oh my
you know?
God! Wait, what am I doing? James Toney made it into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, AJ is definitely making it in. Holy shit! I can't believe I was arguing
Yeah,
that for a minute.
Bro, James Toney was a savage. What?
Yeah, James Toney was
Come on, bro.
Like,
Don't do that to James
Man,
Toney.
nothing like what you got on him that's bad. Like, bro, James Toney was a fucking man, bro.
All right, okay. So real quick,
He was the Roy Jones
greatest.
before Roy Jones showed up. You know what I mean?
Name me the greatest James Toney wins, and before you do, and after you do that, name me what weight class was he actually dominant at?
Who's that?
Bro, shit. Let me see his best win. Ugh.
I'll tell you, it's Michael Nunn. It's Michael
You
Nunn.
think
That's the
Nunn?
best win. It's none. It's none. And that was a win where he was basically getting schooled in that entire fight, and he got a last round knockout.
See, do you think he was
Not that great
Do you
anymore.
think he was
Now,
a benefit of like just good names, but not so much competition?
I'll tell you what it is, bro. Like somebody said it best when like I tried to like hype up James Toney. He was like, bro, the second you stop looking at them highlights, that motherfucker does not look that good.
Well, hang on. You don't think the Mike
I
McCallum
got
fights,
a
at least the first two, were some of the
I
best
mean-
fights we ever seen?
Okay. Wait. Keep that. Mike McCallum fights, right? Mike McCallum fights. So let's actually see Mike McCallum's age at the time. I believe he was like 35. No, my bad. He was probably 36 presenting to be 35. That's not really like it's just not that good.
You can.
You,
I mean, you can
and
say that,
he
bro,
should
but
have
he
lost
was
the second fight.
No, brother, you could say that, but Mike McCallum was a champion at that time, and the only reason he wasn't is he gave a belt to fight James Toney. Like, don't be doing Mike McCallum dirty like that, man.
I'm not doing him dirty. I'm saying, look, that wasn't like the best Mike McCallum. That wasn't like the body snatcher like at that time. Like that was Mike McCallum after a lot of fights. And it's not like Mike McCallum's career went up after the James Toney fights. Actually, it did kind of go up a little bit after the James Toney fights. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is a much better win than you think, bro.
Yeah, no.
But-
It came at near the end of his career. That's what I mean.
He's extremely overrated.
Now, I will.
Hey, he beat
The Roy
Holyfield though.
Jones Jr. No,
Yeah,
I will
but
say this
Holyfield was
against
Did he
James
test
Toney.
positive after
Hey,
he
they was
did that?
both-
He did. He
Hey,
did.
hey, man, that shit. Yeah, no.
Man, that's like
I
saying
will say
Rocky
this.
Marciano beat Joe Lewis.
No, he
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
against James
Yeah,
Toney.
yeah.
That Roy Jones
That's why I
fight.
said it when I
Beat
laughed.
Joe
That Roy
Lewis
Jones fight, he got the
ass.
shit beat out of him.
Joe Lewis was 76 years old next year.
But yeah, like what's it called? Like, but yeah, guys like James Toney made it in second ballot. I mean, yeah, AJ can make it in. He can make it.
Oh, well, it wasn't even Holyfield. It was the John Ruiz fight that he beat and he failed for peds.
Yeah, I mean the Iron
Oh, is
Barkley
that like
was
a no
big,
contest?
man. Iron Barkley was like a
Yeah, it was a no
knockout artist,
contest.
dude. But other than that, man, yeah, you gotta be
Yeah,
on
but
something.
Hey,
and that's the
Jules.
thing too. Iran Barkley, right? That dude got slayed by Nigel Benn before he went into James Toney fight.
Yeah,
I
but
got
he's still a
I
knockout
got
artist.
another question. I got another question for you guys. Roy Jones Jr. in today's light heavyweight division against either Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev. Do you guys think he would win?
He cleans him out.
He cleans.
Mm.
All right, so that's
He
one guy
washes him.
says Roy washes both.
No,
No,
Oh, two guys say no.
Cool.
no,
Great.
absolutely not.
okay,
on
look,
this.
I think he beats fucking. Actually, I think he goes to a weird close decision with fucking Bivol. I don't know who wins, but it's a weird close decision. But he beats Beterbiev.
Oh,
From a stylistic standpoint, that's all that's changing it.
Jason.
I think he beats Bivol and gets knocked the fuck out by Beterbiev.
I'm with Jason. I'm gonna go on that list. I think that Bivol would be too mechanical, too textbook for Roy. Doesn't have the power. Whereas Artur has game-changing power. He'll hit you once and put you in a different place. So I say he beats Bivol, loses the better beef. Country.
I'm gonna have to agree with your assessment. I definitely think he beats Bivol,
Fucking people.
and I definitely.
Do you see what he's doing? Do you see what he's doing? See
What?
he's doing? This is why I don't say anything. This is why I don't
Ride
say
the
shit.
fucking fence.
So if I have the same assessment as you, then somehow
I don't say shit.
fuck you, shit, motherfucker, shit.
Papa Foundry said Inoue, Chocolatito, Donaire, Short Kings, Fuck the Tall, and Fat Fighters. Real talk.
Fuck you. I'm a tall fat fighter.
He is tall and fat. Real talk. How does that go between Roy and those two light heavyweights?
Honestly, I genuinely believe that Roy would catch them both, bro. I think Artur has been dropped.
Yeah.
I think Roy,
Whoa, what was that?
That was Artur. That was Artur.
Yeah, Artur getting dropped.
That was Artur.
But I think Roy would beat them both, bro.
Roy beats them both. Ray, you agree with that?
Nah.
Don't beat.
Hey, bro.
Don't
All I gotta say
sound
is
all special in my ear like that, bro. I'm gonna come.
all I gotta say.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hey.
All I gotta say is
Hey.
look, when they told Roy to fight a European with a nice high guard style, straight punches, and he has to do it in Germany. You know what he did instead? He almost bankrupted the WBC. That's what happened, bro. That motherfucker is not good against that style, bro.
That is
I think
what
there's
happened.
a reason he didn't want to fight those type of guys.
Damn, no, you're right.
I
bro.
think that Roy's unorthodox because Roy didn't have an orthodox style. Didn't throw.
No,
Not that he
no,
didn't
was-
have a jab. He didn't use it much. He was
No.
mostly athleticism.
Yeah. And another thing is with it's hard for me to even think about Bivol losing to Roy because Bivol hardly loses a round in any fight he's had.
He's
In all his fights,
Tex-
he's probably lost maybe a total of 4 rounds in his career.
Do you know what my problem with Bivol in that fight is? Bivol's gonna treat it like it's a conventional boxing match.
Thank you. Like
But
it's
wait.
Olympic still. Like
Yeah.
that. He won't.
But guess
He
what?
won't
Guess what?
He won't go the extra mile to fucking put a stamp on it.
The chicken dance style only works when you're not fighting guys that stick to the textbook. When you see guys that say, all right, bro, I'm seeing all this goofy shit you're doing. All I need to do to hit you is a 1-2. Those guys win.
Fair enough.
I was gonna ask you, Jules, did you see the conversation Isan was having in terms of about Roy of like in this era of heavyweight, does he beat any heavyweight like he did Ruiz?
No. Fuck no. Hell no. Fuck no.
Maybe a Joe Joyce, that's it.
No, not even Joe. Bro, come on. He fought John the Quiet Man Ruiz, bro. Come on now. This era of heavyweights would wash that guy. You know, like, and I love Roy. What he did was amazing, but that was John Ruiz was the Mario Barrios of that heavyweight division.
Listen, it's true. No, hold on. Anybody who's old enough to remember the hype around that fight remembers the fact that when he won, John Ruiz was kind of like a wink, like a joke, like really considered a top heavyweight by any fucking stretch of the imagination.
Who remembers what Tua did to him in 38 seconds?
Oh God, he annihilated him.
Or he parked his car. All right, Papa Foundry. All right, I read that one already.
He parked it in parallel.
Yeah, he parallel parked it. All right. So I think Roy beats Dimitri. I think he would. Too unorthodox, too unconventional for Dimitri. Maybe Dimitri could win a rematch if he gets to learn from the mistakes. But I don't think Dimitri would win that fight. Artur, game-changing power. He's never out of that fight, and he's only got to hit Roy once. And we know Roy didn't have the best chin. So I would go with Artur.
Say that again. Jesus.
He slid that motherfucker through the ropes again.
He slide him through the ropes, bro. Okay. What else? Because I saw a list earlier. Drew probably saw the thing too, where they talked about, nobody at lightweight right now is gonna do a goddamn fucking thing with Duran. In truth, nobody at 140 is gonna do a damn fucking thing with Duran.
Yeah.
Nobody at
Duran
147.
would win belts all the way up to 160. Duran would go undisputed up to 160 in this era.
Yeah, like if you look at the welterweight division, nobody there is gonna do nothing with. Nobody's gonna do nothing with Duran, bro. Like
Maybe
what?
someone at 154, maybe.
You might have to get somebody at
It
154.
it would take Durant getting up to 168 and fighting Canelo to even
and then
have
and
a
then you
50-50 fight.
and what we're going with Yanni back to beat Duran, right?
Yeah, right.
Nah,
Take a look at Duran versus Leonard, where Duran was arguably already slightly past his best, and tell me any of these fucks beat that Duran.
I don't like he clears it out. Like Duran clears it out. They had Floyd. And I know it's controversial, but I stand by it that I think Crawford would have beat Floyd. I do. I think Crawford
at 47 or where is
47. No, at 47. My pick is I'm kind of like Country on this one in the sense that I have more than one answer. If it's at 35, Floyd.
No, that's slick shot. That would have knocked the motherfucker out.
At 35, I think Floyd would have got him. Probably knocks him out at 35. At 40, it's a 50-50. At 40. At 47, Crawford wins.
Oh, I've heard this conversation before.
Apologies to take it off topic, but somebody mentioned in the comments, and I don't know if this is fucked up and not. I want to ask it anyway. So somebody said Jones beats Wilder.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Come on. Bro, look at how Spilka had him looking.
Bro, like in a couple of years, Jake Paul could have beaten like Wilder at his best. Bro.
I think he could beat him now, to be real.
The shit is that a lot of Wilder's fans is starting to regret it. They know they fucked up. Like y'all, I heard a dude call in a boxing voice earlier this week.
Oh, I saw that shit, bro.
Yeah,
he
broke it down,
crazy.
bro. He broke it down. Like
that shit was crazy, bro.
What did he say?
He said, listen, he said everything that I've been telling you. They didn't care about Wilder. They knew he sucked. They knew his record was padded, but they saw the British guy over there doing well and getting money, and he's getting all the fame, and they got behind Wilder for that reason, that they knew Wilder's no good. Yeah, that's what he said. It's plain old tribalism. Like, well, that's the fuck I've been saying. It took you motherfuckers long enough to admit it. He sucks. He's not a good fighter. Like, nah, I'm sorry. Bronze medal and all. Not a good fighter.
Yo, you know what it is? It's like something about like having an American like heavyweight champion. It just puts some different type of pride in some people, bro.
Yeah, it does. It's true.
No, I mean, like, I understand why, because it's a return. People want to go back to that because we did dominate the heavyweight. We dominated boxing for a very long time. The world opened up, and that's reality.
So many to choose from too. We had back to back. We had fucking pure talent, power, speed, like everything, agility, the whole fucking deal with heavyweights. At one point, we were untouchable, man.
No, I got another question, and this one, I think I'm going to get some funny answers for this one. Country, do you think Riddick Bowe could have made it in this era?
Wow, good question.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding, Don. People got different opinions about that fighter.
The prime Bowe that fought Holyfield, hell yeah, he'd be destructing people left and right.
Do you agree with that, Ray?
Yes. I think he would. I don't think there would be a heavyweight that would have beaten Bowe right now.
There he is. Get him. There he is. Get him.
Not even one. I'd pick. I personally. No. I'm not even going to say nothing. Real talk. You agree with that? Bowe clears in this era. Bowe clears.
No, I don't agree with that.
Don?
I don't think so. I don't think he clears. He does well, but he doesn't clear.
There he is, though, Jules. Get him. He's in the chat.
Alex, does he clear? Does he not
clears
clear?
100%, bro. Motherfuckers from that time were different. They were cut from a different cloth. Wow. The training, bro, the technology for training wasn't there that these guys have now. Every fucking aspect of being a world-class fighter was harder back then than it is now. 100% he makes it.
Jason,
Drop the
does he
link,
clear?
dude.
Does he clear?
Yes, I think he clears. I think Riddick Bowe is one of the more underappreciated heavyweights from the 90s era.
Drew, you agree with that? He's fucking jerking off again. Jesus Christ.
I like it. It's great.
I don't think he clears. I think Usyk beats him. And I think one of the biggest advantages that Bowe had in that era of heavyweights is he towered over all of them.
Yeah,
I
he was
don't,
the biggest guy. That's it.
I
don't
know.
Clears out the weight division.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like clears the way and gets in the Hall of Fame. No. Yeah, I mean, if
Bowe was
Usyk, that's I don't probably not, but like he's still one of the best fighters if he fights today.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him.
I don't, and I'm saying I don't know that because if you go back to that era of heavyweights, he usually towered over guys. That was a huge advantage that he had. That he was so much bigger than all the guys that were running around. In this era, you don't have that advantage. And if you guys remember Bowe liked to eat. Bowe liked to eat.
He did.
Oh yeah, his camps were mostly fat camps too to get him in shape.
But the chins those motherfuckers had back then, bro, were different.
Wait.
Man.
But this the thing. You got a chin with a Holyfield, bro. You got a chin with a Holyfield.
Holyfield.
I like saying it that way because it's it make people
Holyfield.
pause. Like Holyfield. The fuck is he talking about?
Damn it, Jules, you're making me second guess
Holly,
myself
bro.
because
Holly
now I'm
points,
thinking about
man.
it. Like, who were the guys that the only person he fought that was his size was Galata, and Galata beat the shit out of him twice.
Right.
And he avoided the legs.
Without the dick punches.
Galata fucking punched him in the balls.
Wait.
Before
Without
he
the
punched
dick,
him in the balls.
before he's
Without the
punching
dick
him in the
punches.
dick, he's beating him, dog. He's literally outboxing him. That's why it was so mental that he threw the fight. I don't think I'm gonna be honest that
it was
a lot
really
of people,
weird, dude.
a lot of people like to shit on Mike and say that he was overrated. But in my childhood, the
That's
guy who I
crazy.
always thought was the most overrated heavyweight of my time was Riddick Bowe.
Wow.
I always thought he was overrated.
I mean, I want to argue he was overrated, but if you put him in today's time, I think he does well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
outside of
well.
the trilogy with Evander,
didn't have
what
much
did he?
going on.
We didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what? I totally agree with that. I've been saying that for a long time. When people say Riddick Bowe would clean these guys, I'm like, no, he wouldn't. How would he clean? Okay, first of all, a lot of these guys are as big as him. You know, he's going to do well. He is going to do well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's not going to beat the cream of the crop. He's just not. He was never that technical to begin with. He had a lot of advantages because he was a way bigger. If you put a guy like Holyfield and him and the same size, that would be a very different fight, dude.
Here's a hot take. I don't even fucking like Fury. I don't fucking like Fury. But Fury might give Riddick Bowe fits. He might give him fit. A man that's Bowe's not used to going in there with a guy that's gonna be bigger than him and moving. Nah, he not used to that, dog. You used to looking down and bearing down on guys and punching down and wearing them out. That's what he used to. I don't think Bowe clears in this era, and I think he is one of the most overrated heavyweights of the 90s. Stand by that.
All right, that's good. I respect that.
Now the fanboy in me, and you guys could disagree. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna stand on my square. I'm gonna pee in it. I'm gonna shit on it. I'm gonna jerk off in it. I'm gonna do what I want.
Is this
Mike.
about to be Tyson? Oh, okay.
Mike fucking Tyson in this era might clear.
20-year-old Mike.
Fuck you, Ray.
The Mike
You,
Tyson-
Ray.
The Mike Tyson undercuts the model absolutely clears.
Well, Kevin Rooney, really. Kevin Rooney. Because you got to give the credit where it's due. Like the Mike that you
Because,
see beating up
you know,
Trevor Burbick,
you know,
Michael Spinks.
Well, then what about Lennox?
Oh, that's good.
Because
That's
Lennox would be like, I think Lennox would be up there big time. Like,
See, this is the thing
he'd
about
probably be
Lennox.
undisputed. He'd probably.
This is the thing about Lennox. I give Lennox all his flowers. He was a great fighter. You can go back and look. He was a great fighter. But there's a little element of that Bowe in there too. Lennox was huge in that era, bro. There were not a lot of guys running around with his size. What makes the argument for Lennox is, you know, he did beat the fuck out of Shannon Briggs. Shannon was a big heavyweight for his time. He's a big guy. Lots of knockouts. He holds the record for the most first round knockouts. And Lennox Lennox didn't have a fight with him. He played with
Beat
him.
the fuck out of him, yeah.
Beat the
Well,
fuck
the
out of
argument
him.
against Lennox. The argument
I mean,
against
Lennox Lewis is the kind of guy that gave Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs would wake up in the middle of the night thinking it was the Kukui.
Yeah, and here's another thing.
Mentally.
You know, he has the fight with Vitali, you know, and I do think the ref saved him. I'm not going to argue with anybody about that. The ref saved Lennox. But what still gets me is that was an out-of-shape Lennox. That was a Lennox at the end of his career. That wasn't even the best Lennox, and that was still a good fight. That was still a competitive fight. So I think Lennox would be competitive in this era. But once again, there is a similar dynamic there between him and Bowe that you were actually very big for your era. You had a lot of reach, 84-inch wingspan. You know, in this era, you're not alone, dog. There's other guys running around like that. You did get knocked out by Hasim Rahman. It's not like you can't be gotten to. You can.
Yeah.
And then he get knocked out by I forgot the other guy's
Oliver
name.
McCall.
Yeah, like
Oliver McCall.
Oh, dude. So Key popped in to show his face and now refuses to click the link.
Why doesn't he want to click the link?
Because he's about to get a verbal shellacking for those statements.
Come on, Kiwi. What the fuck, bro?
He's taking I was a weight bully and that Errol Spence is more accomplished than Triple G.
Click the fucking link, bro. What the fuck? The reason I think Mike would do damage, my rationale is simple. He's a pocket-sized heavyweight. That's going to put a lot of people at a disadvantage, that they have to punch down to hit him, but he's faster than they are. I think that would put a lot of these guys in this era at a great disadvantage.
He knocks down AJ and Fury multiple times.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, especially AJ, dude.
Especially Fury.
No, a lot of these guys like it would.
AJ, come on, man. AJ always gets.
You know, AJ's a good kid. He does to a lot of these guys what Kevin Lorena did to Daniel, but he finishes the job, is what I see. They're like, yeah, like it's gonna be that kind of a dynamic where you got a pocket-sized guy, he's faster on his feet than you, so you can't keep him out. It's gonna be awkward. You're shooting that jab at him, and he's just slipping past it, coming over the top with overhand rights, hooks to the body, uppercuts to the face. I think because of how he's built, not oh, he's just, you know, he's amazing. No, it's because of how he's built. It would leave a lot of the guys in this era at a great disadvantage.
Yeah, and he was fucking explosive as shit, bro. Like,
yeah, the speed.
He's gonna get under the reach, and he's just gonna fucking land bombs.
And people underestimate the footwork. He could close a distance like fucking nobody can, dude.
No, he's
like,
one of the great pressure fighters. Like they just like to shit on him. They like to shit on him because he seems like a story of squandered potential, which he is. But all in all, he had a great career. He had a great career. Like, look, you don't put him up there with Joe Louis. No, you don't. You don't put him up there with Muhammad Ali. No, you probably don't. But he's a top 15 heavyweight. Top 15. He actually, yeah. The fuck? Youngest undisputed
so you're
champion.
convincing yourself in the whole thing.
Yeah, fucking yeah, because I've been on.
Yeah,
because you don't know the trauma I have, bro. I used to get chewed up for saying I think Mike is one of the greatest heavyweights, but you know, you're a casual. Oh, you grew up in like, man, what do you mean? What do you mean? He's a great fucking heavyweight. What the fuck? You know? Who else? I think now in this era, a guy who I think clears. This is the hipster pick. This is Larry
gonna David and the hipsters.
Larry fucking Holmes. I think he clears.
I don't think that's hipster.
I can see that.
Like,
I think
that jab alone's gonna fuck people up.
It's gonna fuck people because he just slaps you with it. He just blinds you with it. It's not a tense, stiff jab. He just slaps you with it. He blinds you with it. You know, King Lopez said. T.O. ducked Ryan, Matias, Norman, and and apparently he there's a video on Fight Hype where he's talking shit to Brian Norman. It's like, what? I was gonna do a segment on it, but I'm like, I'm just puckered out, dog. Like, I don't. What am I supposed to say about this fucking moron?
It's like, he suddenly found his balls to talk shit as soon as Brian Norman signed to fight someone else. Okay,
you got guys fighting. They're fighting. They're getting shit done, and you know, whatever, bro. Like, okay, well, that's great. You know, whatever. I think we need to start shunning fighters, like really shunning them, because it's like you're not fighting, dog. What are we going to talk about,
Yeah, is there anything scheduled for that guy at all?
No.
That's fucked, dude.
One thing you got to give fucking Devin, at least he's fighting this fucking guy.
Who's he with?
Well, the story is that he now has the autonomy to work with whoever he wants, but Top Rank still gets a cut.
Wow.
That's the story.
Translation, we're done with this fucking guy. We'll just get paid whenever you fight, but other than that, fuck off.
we'll count your fights with other promoters towards your contract so that we can complete it and you can go fuck off and whatever.
Yeah, he fucked that up so bad.
Yeah,
is this not the dumbest move in like boxing history? I feel like the easiest thing to do just fight the last fight and leave.
Him and
it's
his
not
dad
that deep.
are the fucking stupidest motherfuckers, dude.
He's one of those, he's just one of those guys that makes everything more difficult than it has to be. That's the story of him. Like you make shit more difficult than it has to be. That's the root of all your problems. You can't just do some shit the way you're supposed to. No, you got to put mustard on it. You got to put.
I don't even know that many fans. Like I still don't know any Teofimo fans.
I mean, there's this gay guy on Twitter. He's pretty fucking gay, and he took a selfie. He like literally in the picture with Teofimo. Like if this is Teofimo's face, this is the guy.
Oh,
he's like,
fuck, dude. That's sick, dude. That is fucking sick. Dude.
And then you can't even mention Teo without that guy popping up. Like he must have like his name in a like an advanced search engine or something. Like you mentioned Teo.
His name's Massage.
His name's what's the guy's name? He's got Marv. Is it Marv? Yeah, Marv the Great. That's his name. Marv the Great.
Christ, dude.
Fucking love
even his name is a clacket.
Fucking cringe, bro. That's just fucking
fucking great, bro. And he's the weirdest thing about the guy. He's got these Pee Wee Herman eyes, like they're fucking globules.
Oh, it gets better and better.
Are they fuck me eyes?
Better and better.
Yeah, they're fuck me eyes. He's got the fuck me eyes,
I think
I
think we're done here.
You know what I'm saying? Like
my Frenchie has fuck me eyes.
No, do you fuck it?
Nah.
Wait, what? You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
That's the logical next question, bro. Do you?
I mean, yeah, like if it's got fuck me eyes, like
why
you gotta
throwing
do
that out there, bro.
May want to rewind that, brother.
Like that's how it makes you feel?
Leo just joined us. Leo, if you turn your attention to your screen, in the top shelf, you'll see a list of fighters that boxing scene feels are shoo-ins to get into the Hall of Fame. But of that list, who would you take off? You got Canelo Alvarez, Alexander Usyk, Terence Crawford, Inoue, Chocolatito, Nonito Donaire, Tyson Fury, Dimitri Bivol, Gallo Estrada. Out of those guys, who do you think is not Hall of Fame worthy?
Look, I'm not gonna tell you I'm being unbiased because I'm not Fury.
No, Jesus Christ! And
thank you.
Everybody keeps picking Fury, bro.
No, but if I'm gonna be real. Bivol.
Whoa.
Yeah. Look, I think the resume is thin to be a Hall of Famer.
But Fury's resume is pretty thin too.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm really unbiased on that subject. I really don't like Fury, so if I'm gonna try to be, if I'm gonna try to be unbiased, really, I will tell you Bivol. I don't.
Okay. So it's between Bivol and Fury. If you look at the second column, right, out of that list of fighters, Anthony Joshua, Errol Spence, Artur Beterbiev, Kenshiro Taraji, Deontay Wilder. If you could promote just one of those fighters to the Hall of Fame, who would it be?
Kenshiro.
Really? Over AJ?
Yeah. I understand he's a heavyweight. He has another significance to his reign. But if we're trying to give credit when credit is, dude, Kenshiro was arguably, it wasn't top 5 pound for pound, but top 10, sure, for sure it was top 10 at one time.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to at least consider him, strongly consider him as a Hall of Fame material.
Don Juan said, how would Ray Mercer, David Tua, and Corey Saunders do today? My honest opinion, and I'm not being a hipster, I think they do fucking fantastic in this era. All those guys are tree trunks. Tua, Mercer, Corey Saunders. He was Kevin Lorena before Kevin Lorena. He's basically a better version of Kevin Lorena.
Yeah, but do they beat this era's George Foreman and Joe Joyce?
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I can't believe Teddy Atlas said that. People were running with that shit.
Yeah, but it's because Teddy's a slave to the moment.
Teddy, dude, why are we talking about Teddy still, dude? Like, nobody should be talking about Teddy Atlas on this panel ever.
No, honestly, no, because we traded him for Ariel Helwani. Now Ariel covers more boxing than Teddy. Honestly, we did.
They switched him. Like Teddy covers MMA.
They did a wife swap. Now we've got Ariel and they've got Teddy. You know, so
no, you know it's funny. The funny thing about Ariel Helwani, if you're a part of the MMA world, is there's a guy, MMA guru, does a fucking hilarious Ariel Helwani impression, bro. Like, have you ever heard that guy talk, bro?
I'll look it up after this. I'll look it up. You know,
Oh my God, bro. Fucking
Who do you want
Ariel-
to see round out the announce team for the Netflix card?
I mean, they got Max Kellerman in the fucking shit, so that pretty much rounds it the fuck out. They got Max.
But like him and Lampley.
Lampley isn't what he was, you know. You gotta.
But I like that Lampley started not giving a fuck when we were watching boring shit at that ring card.
Yes, that's
yeah.
great. That was cool, dude. You gotta admit that, Jules.
If he could turn into like Larry Merchant, if the shit sucks, I'm all for it.
I loved it.
Maybe that was a tune-up fight for him, and when we see him again, you know, he'll be sharper. So yeah, bring me Larry. Bring me Larry.
How are you? Listen, you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. How are you enthusiastic about those fights? I mean,
how could anybody be, dog?
I mean,
how?
listen, this guy's
How would fucking
Cosell
would struggle to fucking make those fights exciting?
And then
and the other thing is that if you're an old guy, like if you're like Larry or you're like my age, and you got to sit there through that shit, if you're not falling asleep, you're getting upset that you're not asleep. It's like, well, what the fuck am I? I'm supposed to watch this?
Yeah,
come on, dog. Fucking terrible.
Jim had the most excitement he had in a couple of the rounds was Devin Haney's shoelace coming off and Bill having to fucking tape it.
Yeah, like I think the most exciting thing he had to do that night was find a seat, and it was all downhill after that. You know,
dude, that was it.
like, oh, I'm about to get down for some fights. Look at this bullshit. You know, we got this Brian Norman and Devin Haney thing. And, you know, I really want Brian to win that fight.
Oh, dude. I think I want to see a cold-blooded knockout.
I mean, I really want to see him give, like, Devin a little bit of CTE. Not a lot, enough that he can tie his shoes and remember his name. You know, but just a little bit.
Now. Like, we just cover that?
Well, yeah, we
Bro,
did go over that.
Because of Brian Norman, Brim doesn't even go by unbiased anymore.
No, he changed his last name. They're married now, bro. It's like a real fucking thing, man. Like,
yeah,
you know, he
Brim Norman.
Yeah, he's Brim Norman. Damone said, I thought I heard John Anik from the UFC was going to be on the commentary team. I don't know. I don't know, John.
I saw him, but I saw him on the. I think he is because I remember somebody made a joke there, like, "Damn, bro, John Anik's going to be on the team. He's about to release the most deepest and darkest secrets of Crawford and Canelo on the fucking commentary."
Fuck it. I mean, like,
I just don't want biased Andre Ward. He hated on Triple G and he hated on Canelo. I don't need to hear him anymore.
Yeah, dude, I do not want fucking Andre Ward anywhere near any of these fights.
I just don't see why they could form a like why isn't Roy commentating, dog? I don't get it. Like, bro, you were fantastic at that. You were amazing at commentating. Go back to that.
He's
man.
I like Roy Jones Jr. doing it. He was great. HBO. He was great with HBO.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? One of my least favorite things about going back and watching the AJ and Usyk one fight was Roy's commentary.
Really?
Yeah, bro, because it was like every single time the guy tried to give Usyk any type of props, he immediately tried to be like, oh yeah, but AJ could do it too. You know, like, oh, but you know, there's also, you know, AJ. It's like, bro, can you stop sucking his dick for like maybe a couple seconds?
Yeah. I guess so. If you look at it that way, I guess. There goes Michael. So I better end the live before he tries to join.
Fucking dick.
You know what I'm saying? Let me go smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back. You girls chop it up.
That was fucking funny. I thought he was actually gonna end this hoe.
That would have been the best
That was
thing.
good.
Like, oh man.
I don't know. For the most part, listen, I can't get tripped up over his commentary on that fight. I don't remember it at all, but I do remember.
Well, the thing is, I rewatched the fight so many times that it got like.
Yeah,
you
picked up on all the comments, but you picked up on all the comments. But you know, I used to watch the HBO fights all the time, and I got used to Roy Jones. I thought he was great at it. I thought he was really good. I just him and Jim Lampley and occasionally George Foreman, and you know, I thought that was a good team. The HBO commentating team with those guys was probably the most memorable. I don't know, maybe I'm just being nostalgic because I'm a little older and I just remember watching those fights. They were good, man.
I'll tell you what,
yeah, it could just be that
I miss George Foreman. No, I miss George Foreman's commentary. God rest his soul.
Yeah,
like, he was the best.
Oh, may he rest in peace, bro.
He would in the same fight say something that was actually legitimately insightful and like, oh, that's how that works. And then the very next moment say something so out of pocket and crazy.
Yeah, and then Howard Letterman was, you know, just I enjoyed the whole thing, dude. It was great.
HBO boxing was the best.
Yeah,
like
they had a dynamic fucking thing with the commentary, and everyone kept it real. I don't think there was too much biases going on because, you know, when there was a good back and forth, they would mention it. They would say shit. They would break it down, and it was awesome. It was. I mean, it's painful to have to hear like Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora right now. That shit's fucking.
Oh my god.
It's fucking. It's just. It's. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, it has fallen so bad, and the fact that they don't realize it. Like who's giving them any criticism? Who's even giving them any good feedback? Like, hey, you know, these guys kind of fucking suck. Like,
also, that comment from earlier saying John Hennick's about to tell everyone's deepest, darkest secrets. Like, so he's gonna be Mark Kriegel for the show to talk about motherfuckers' dads and all the horrible shit.
Oh, that's basically what he does. That's what he did in the UFC fight. I remember, like, I know a clip they were talking about when they said that because he had an event where basically he said both of these fighters are both going through custody battles for their children right now.
That's fucking stupid, dude.
Dude.
like just unprovoked. Nobody.
I would
said to say
immediately.
that shit.
I would immediately let both fighters know, saying, "There he is, right over there. Go beat his ass." Like, what the fuck are you airing people's dirty laundry out like that for, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. I don't care about that. I want to see some action in the ring, and I want people to call good fights, and that's it. I don't give a fuck if they're. I don't give a fuck, dude. If they're fucking a bunch of Thai masseuses on the side, I really don't care.
No, the two things I can't stand they do is airing out the dirty laundry, and then giving like a flash focus on a fighter who's gone through a terrible loss or got screwed over and is trying to have a private cry in his dressing room. Like, bro, get that shit off him. Like,
yeah,
what are you trying to do? Don't do that to him.
Yeah, dude. It's fucked up.
Yeah, when they did it to Loma, that was like, the fuck you.
Oh
assholes.
yeah, like after his daughter called him, like, you guys are pieces of shit.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking stupid, dude. Not only did you fuck him, but then you made him look like a fucking ass. Thanks a lot. I mean, if I was Loma, I'd never want to do business with those guys again.
I mean, well, he didn't. he did one fight in Australia and said, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, no shit, dude. He knew the cards were stacked against him, dude. There's no way. I mean, I don't know. So hopefully, I'm not. You know what? I'm not a big fan of Max Kellerman either. Like, I'm just not. Never have been. I think the guy talks. I don't know. The way he talks annoys me. Okay, but these guys And I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? Just
Oh,
I don't know. The guy rubs me the wrong way. I've never liked Max Kellerman.
I missed Max Kellerman, and then he started talking, and I was like, oh, that's why I didn't care anymore. Because he has this very overeducated, snobby way of coming across where it's like, okay, I mean, you can disagree with me if you want.
Yeah,
but you're a dipshit if you do.
But he does that, and then he says, and then he just is so off the mark. It's like almost sometimes he gets. It's like he's a casual and he's such a confident casual. Sometimes that's what he comes off to me.
That's such a great way to put that.
And I'm like, what are you have you seen this guy fight? Do you know this? What are you talking about Max Kellerman? Like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your dumb shit.
Confident casual. That's what we're thinking about Max Kellerman right now.
Max has got some hot takes, but he's better than a lot of he's certainly better than Todd Grisham and Sergio Mora.
God, yes. That's what we're just talking about right now. Like Sergio Mora and all those guys. I'm like, no one has told the Zone that these fucking guys suck.
Ignacio comes into the live just as I'm about to end it.
What the hell?
just about 10 minutes.
Just like Chavez, just in time to be too late.
You know. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about that shit, the WBA shit, and they're all in a hullabaloo about it. When use your common sense, guys. Do you honestly think this fucking guy is gonna fight Zurdo? You don't gotta think Zurdo's great, but
no,
he doesn't need to be great. You need to be. You could be Tommy Fury and win the fucking fight, let alone being Zurdo.
Bro, Zurdo.
He's gonna get a Reggie.
Yeah, he's gonna get. If he doesn't get a Reggie, maybe he gets Badu Jack. And I think I'll maintain that if Jake wins that fight, then I'll know it's scripted. Then I'll know for sure this is not real.
No,
that'll give it away.
Bro, what Zurdo would do to Jake would be racist.
What Jake already gave the play away. Because among all those fighters he mentioned, it's like Tommy Fury came up, and it's like one of these things is not like the other. right. And for him, it's the logical choice because, well, he does need his get back. I would have serious reservations if Jake went into a fight with Badu Jack and won, because I don't believe he can, even now that Jack is 42. I don't believe you win that fight. I don't believe you should win that fight. And if you do, it's got to be because it's scripted. Jack says, I'm 42. I'm fucking old. I need money. Sells you the belt.
Bro,
Mauricio wants to do everything in his power to get Jake a belt.
Yep.
And is Jake a Hall of Famer if he gets a belt?
Yes.
He is.
If Jake gets a belt, he gets in the Hall of Fame. The first social media influencer world champion. He gets in. Yeah. He gets in.
Now is he already on the path, Jules, to get in? He's already on the path to get in as a promoter, regardless of what Julio fucking said about women's boxing yesterday.
Oh yeah, he's on. Look, he's doing great things for boxing. Like this whole thing with Jake, it's really because it's a sort of hazing. Whenever somebody comes into the space, they did it to Al Heyman, right? Bob and Oscar did it to Al Heyman. Then everybody did it to Eddie Hearn. The guys in the UK, they were doing it to Ben Shalom when he came into the space. Now they're doing it to Jake. Turkey. They're doing it. They've been trying to do it to Turkey. They give you a hard time. They don't want to make it easy for you. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at how quick he picked up compared to other people, that MVP, they brought Netflix to the table. That is big, bro. That's big. Wasn't Golden Boy. Wasn't Top Rank. Wasn't PBC. Wasn't even Matchroom. They brought Netflix into the shit. Now Netflix want to do some boxing matches. Yeah, that's big.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for you, Jules. Not his next fight, but is there any path Jake Paul can take where he wins a belt and you don't think it's scripted?
If a belt goes vacant.
See, yeah, that would be about it.
See, this is the thing, and I'm being realistic. I'm not saying it for satire. He did get better. He did get better. He's putting his punches together better. He's moving with purpose. He's moving with intent, and he's punching with intent. He's showing different variety of punches. You throw a jab, slap him to the body, then throwing like he was doing. I know it's Chavez, so I don't read a lot into it. But did he get better from the time that he started? I say, yeah, he did get better, and I noticed it. He did get better. Now, I mean, if you take away Jai Opetaia and Zerto and Jack, what else does the cruiserweight division have?
Not much.
Chris Smith will whoop his ass.
Wait, what was about Jai Opetaia?
Yeah, that if you took, the cruiserweight division is kind of top heavy. You were really talking about Opetaia, Zerto, and Jack. If you take them away,
Opetaia should have no problem being undisputed in that division.
No, he shouldn't.
What about Yard? Well, no. Well, no.
Well, I mean, if you start, that's not a bad shout because maybe Yard will end up there one day, right? Zerto did, right?
Yeah, but Yard and Opetaia, like that's
no. Just saying that if you start to see light heavyweights move up, right, and these are seasoned guys. Oh yeah, they could give Jake a run for his money. Of course they could. Of course, yeah. Because countries. Jason asked, "Is there any way to get Jake a title where I won't think it's scripted?" And I said, "Well, if the title is vacant, but then it depends on who does he have to go through to get it, and that's why we're looking at the cruiserweight division outside of Opetaia, outside of Zerto, outside of Jack." What's the quality of competition there like? And it's kind of top heavy. There's not a lot there.
No,
it's not great, but honestly, it still beats Jake if we're being real.
Yeah, I said Chris Billum Smith will probably do a little better than Fear.
I wasn't even going there. I was picking random Europeans to beat Jake. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Does he beat Reactor, Jules?
I was like,
did you see Reactor in the Billum Smith fight, dog?
Still active?
Nah, Breedis is done, bro.
Like, I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you know what? I remember hearing about some random dude named Alexei Poppin. I think that dude would probably be Jake. Bro.
Yeah, Alexei Popin. He would. But you just shouldn't fight Russians in general. In a very general sense, on the train, at the supermarket, you shouldn't fight Russians. Bro.
Is that 33?
Does he beat Masterneck?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Unless Masterneck, Masterneck threw that fucking fight with Chris.
Yeah, for sure.
He threw that fucking fight, though. But really, Masterneck's pretty good fighter, so I'd say no.
What about that guy that fought Badu Jack a while ago? I don't remember his name.
McKaylee.
No, not him. They call him Popeye or something.
I know you're not talking about Lebedev didn't fight because they used to call Lebedev Popeye.
Nah,
you're talking about that Spanish guy, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about Zolani Tete.
There's the Reggie for you.
The shit is that Jake won. He gets to use his peds, so he's got that working for him. Gets to use his peds. The promotion is going to be in his favor. That's the other thing. I believe, maybe some of you disagree, I believe he's showing improvement fight by fight. He is getting okay. And remember that you got Kevin Lorena running around, for example. Kevin Lorena is not a traditionally trained boxer. He has no amateur background. When he started, he was learning on the job. But look at how he's doing. I look at him and I say that, it's not that different for Jake, except Jake has all the promotion and money behind him that a Kevin Lorena doesn't. Bridgerweight champion.
But also, he's his own matchmaker, Jules. He's picking the fucking guys to make himself look better, so it's kind of all smoke and mirrors.
Ignacio, doesn't that better his chances, though, that he's picking the guys he's going to fight? That
yeah, but it's also kind of an illusion as to how good he really is.
Look, Ignacio, would you pick him to beat Chris Billum Smith?
No.
Drew?
Absolutely not.
Jason?
Hell no.
All right, Don.
I already said it. No way.
Real talk. Real talk.
And don't ask me that dumbass shit.
Come on, don't play with me. Does he beat him or not?
Dude, fuck no.
Country?
Nope.
Ray?
I hope DSG music gets played in your house nonstop 24/7 for Like, I hope it never ends too, bro. I hope you go to the gym and the DSG music plays, bro.
Hope you try to keep your old lady and the DSG music plays.
I hope somebody cuts your headphones and you still hear the music, bro. That's
listen, bro, I have to ask a question, right? I have to ask a question. I'm the host. I have to ask a question. However silly they might be, I have to ask them.
I hope you pick up a seashell and you still hear that shit.
Okay, right. Jake Paul, Richard Reactor.
Bro, I don't even have him beating Popeye. No, I don't have him beating Reactor either, bro.
Okay. He doesn't beat nobody then. It's settled. Like, it's not the
Bro, I
craziest
don't have him
thing.
beating a single top 10 cruiserweight.
I'm saying.
Being, fellas, Jules, being that the fucking Tank fight hasn't been announced, is there a chance they pump fake and they just say fuck it and go into the Tank Jake fight?
I mean, you know what was weird? They could, right? But is it my imagination, or did Jake not mention him? He mentioned Tommy Fury, Badu Jack, and he threw some shots at Zerto. But I didn't see him mention Tank on Saturday. I didn't see him mention him.
No, I didn't. I'm because Jake does that though. He'll fight a couple of fucking whoever, old washed up dudes, and then he'll do one big fight. Like who could he fight next?
I mean, look. Could they do that? Yeah, and August 16th is not far away. So it's either it's not happening or they're gonna push it back. They could always push it back. They could push it into September, Drew. They could push it into fucking October.
They could push it in, right?
You know what?
They push it hard.
They can push it back as far as a year from now because this dude's already talking about retirement. So they could drag it on as much as they want.
Yeah.
Apparently he did mention Tank in there.
He did?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see him do it, so I'm like, I don't know. Is he moving away from that? Because I didn't see him mention Tank. And if you're Tank, you don't give a fuck what people think, dog. You paint your nails. You wear purses. Come on. You're hugged up with Broner in the club blowing kisses at him. You don't do things like this when you care what people think. So if people think you're a duck for not fighting Lamont again, do you really think he cares?
No. I feel like you have to, bro. Can you even walk around in your hometown after that? I feel like this is different than ducking Shakur.
Do you he don't live in Baltimore. Like,
you're right. You're right.
Bro. You know what did Alex call him the other night? What do you think those shit bags give a fuck? He got the bag, bro. They don't care.
Yeah. For that Netflix money, you gotta think that Netflix money. If Netflix is and Netflix, if they willing to give you like 10, 15, 20 for Jake Paul, yeah, he gonna take it, dog. Yeah, he gonna take it. Of course he is. For fucking around with Lamont Roach.
What's it called? I don't know, Drew. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, yo, they don't give a shit. They're shameless, but it's like, I feel like that's a different type of shame, bro. Like, I remember even
the man
Roach
paints
talked about
his nails and dances like a fruitcake. You think they give a fuck?
That dude don't care, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's been proven. The guy does not care, bro. Like,
dude don't care. The Loma shit was disgraceful enough, and that shit went on for years. Like, honestly, like that's already, like, that's crazy. Like, that shit from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. You got to let the little Endurin come in and fight.
No, that's like,
bro, you're forgetting. They will give him credit because he's fighting a dude that's 200 pounds.
That's gonna Drew. You took the words out. Like, you know what they're gonna say? He's fighting a cruiserweight, yo. Tank is he's fighting a cruiserweight, yo.
Yeah, at this point, he kind of needs to because he had lost a lot of stock. Any momentum he had before the Lamont Roach match, a lot of that has gone away. A lot. A lot of people are not talking about him.
He has no self-respect, bro.
A lot of people don't. Nobody's talking about him the same way they used to. You notice that?
But that's all the more reason you're gonna roll the dice with Lamont, and that might jeopardize the Jake Paul fight. So maybe you do fight Lamont again, but not before Jake.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's rooting for fucking Brian Norman like we are too.
You remember the fucking thing with Jake is an exhibition anyway, so it's no threat to his fucking record. They'll go in there, shake each other's dicks for 20 minutes, and then here's 20 million.
A little circle jerk.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, that's not even a real fucking fight, dog.
And he fights Jake, and then Manny Pacquiao.
We already think that most.
Here's how it's going to go, undefeated. He's going to fight Jake. Pacquiao beats Barrios, and then it's going to be Pacquiao Tank.
That's the other thing, dog, that the Pacquiao shit is an option for him. Manny keeps talking about him. Manny keeps mentioning Gervonta Davis. And Mario Barrios and Rolly Romero are what? Common opponents with Gervonta. Manny says he got 3 more years to give the boxing. I shit you not.
Jesus Christ!
He said, hold on, Manny's saying that now, but after this fight, I don't. I think that's going to be a different story.
Maybe.
The sad thing is, I think 147 is bad enough that he could give us 3 years.
Honestly,
Don't fucking say that
what
shit.
the fuck's he got to worry about? Big Rolo? Because Big Rolo gonna fuck up the plans?
Yeah, Big Rolo.
King Rye.
Bro, Big Rolo went life or death with the fucking Mamra, bro. Manny's better than Mamra.
Bro, he's
I'm
gonna
At
fuck-
gonna
46?
pivot real quick, fellas.
Yeah.
He is a hot piece of ass. I just don't like the new trailer of The Running Man. Why couldn't they leave my movie alone?
Nah, yeah, like, you know what the problem is, Drew? It's what we talked about before, that some concepts that were provocative before in the 80s and the 90s are not really provocative now. The whole concept of a reality death game, it might have seemed mortifying before, or like, oh shit. But
Yeah, it was out of the box.
Yeah, like if we wanted a contemporary version of Running Man, that was Hunger Games, because it's the same premise.
Yes, exactly.
So you don't really need to do that again, you know?
And is it me or are they forcing us to fucking think Glenn Powell's the next Tom Cruise?
Yeah, they do that shit. They did that with Sam Worthington. It's like they
Bro,
tried to
because
push
Hollywood
that
is
guy.
creatively bankrupt.
Yo, fucking see, Real
Between
Talk.
that, like-
Real Talk has these fucking moments when he's not fucking high. These fucking moments where he says this shit. It's like, wow, bro.
Well, hang on. I can't get down with
you,
that.
nigga.
The industry that's giving us another Jurassic Park sequel is creatively bankrupt.
That's
Come on,
Scarlett
you can say
Johansson,
that.
though, bitch.
Yeah, no, I
Johansson.
know, but look, here's the thing. Bryce Dallas Howard has great fucking tits and a great ass, and she's got red hair. I don't really think you can do better than that, bro.
Yeah,
Not- you can't, bro. Like how many times are we gonna see you run from the fucking dinosaurs? How many?
Yo, Jules,
Right.
Jules, did you see her
they
like
could drill that home all day, dude.
they said for one of the posters they had to like shrink the size of her ass because it was too big for the shit.
Oh god, I fucking love her.
Hey, she can run
That between that,
No,
the
listen,
Running Man,
listen.
like I
Listen.
have to watch the Superman just cuz, but I'm getting so mad.
No,
Each
I'm
clip
not
gets
doing-
worse
I'm
and
not-
worse.
I'm not doing
No,
it, Drew.
no,
I'm not
don't
doing
even
it,
talk
Drew.
about it.
Okay, back to
I'm not
Jurassic
doing it,
Park. Back to
Hey,
back to
you
Jurassic
can
Park. If
Now, do
Titty
you
fucking-
think the whole?
Go ahead, Don. Wait, go ahead, Don. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, listen, to your point with Jurassic Park, if titty fucking is still a thing, then definitely Running from Dinosaurs is going to be a thing.
Well, look, titty fucking feels a lot better than Running from Dinosaurs, in fairness.
Hey
So
man, if she can run as much as she wants, as long as we get to see the titties bounce, man. Come on.
yeah, but I just don't see what else. Look, at this point, if you're still making Jurassic Park movies, there is no fucking story, dog. There's nothing left to tell. Okay,
At least bring back fucking Goldblum and fucking Laura Dern.
yeah, like there's those are like Fast and
They already brought
Furious
him
movies
back,
at this
didn't they?
point.
Didn't they already do a movie with them?
But
I
I
think he
think
was
what
in
I was
one of
thinking,
them.
Jules, is there someone's releasing these Superman clips to get people to hate watch or flop? Either or.
I mean, look. James Gunn has a way of making his movies, and at the end of the day, the fucking dog, if the fucking kids like the fucking dog, guess what? It's a hit. All they need is a couple of scenes with the fucking dog doing some dog shit, and he's fucking crypto, man.
fucking Superman John Wick.
Was this? Let me ask you a question.
What it is
What-
that
let me-
when you use an animal like a dog, it's a cheap way to garner emotional connection
Well,
from
yeah.
the audience.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Have you guys seen the clip? I don't know if it's a deep fake, but the clip where Superman asks Lex Luthor, "Where's the dog?"
It's
No,
real.
it's real.
It's real.
Bro, the
That's
worst part about this,
fucked up, dude. That is
bullshit,
fucked up.
no, brother. The worst part about this bullshit is that there was already a fucking crypto Superman movie. That they already did that 3D shit. Why are you doing a live action? You clown.
Yeah, my kid watched it. The super, Batman's got a dog. Wonder Woman's got a fucking iguana or something. It's this whole fucking cartoon fucking movie came out like 3 years ago.
An iguana.
She's got like a lemur or so. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of-
Fucking Jules talking about Madagascar and
You
Superman.
know what movie was good though?
Is it a
That new
super
Brad Pitt
lemur?
movie was
Like,
really
can
good.
it do things? Can it go
I'm-
inside places and
Man,
do
Yeah,
things
the
and
lemur,
vibrate?
the lemur Famer's actually a ventriloquist, you know.
I am so fucking glad they changed Wonder Woman to being able to fly instead of doing that stupid invisible jet. By the way.
Oh yeah, that
'Cause
was
that
fucking
just-
ridiculous.
That shit was retarded.
But you know, the dog is a cop out, man. Like that's all about selling action figures and merch.
That's
and,
it was fucking lazy, intellectual, creative laziness.
Because when the focal point is being able to franchise like Marvel, it's clear you're not concerned with story. No, you just want to peddle a bunch of crap. So that's what we're gonna get, a bunch of crap. Super crypto biscuits, crypto cereal, you know, like crypto. Crypto's gonna have a fucking Instagram.
Crypto
and shit.
dildo.
I just hope in this Running Man remake, they got the love interest and tights like they had Maria Conchita Alonso, bro.
I mean, the only thing I liked about that fucking remake is they got Monica Rambeau in there with her big chocolate ass, and that's the only thing I liked.
I need to see that chocolate ass and tights, like you know.
Yes,
I
I need to see her asshole in the movie, during the movie. I need to see
Like
her
the
asshole.
whole thing.
Yeah, the whole movie is just a camera pointed at her asshole.
Like hands on cheek spreading.
You know, other than that, you know,
You just
it's
want-
not
you-
a, it's
you
just
want
not a
the cheeks
movie that
wrapped
needs.
on your head, just to
Yeah, like right here on my forehead.
Yeah, no, on your
Like
on your,
you can
on your
you
cock,
can make
just
that
on your-
movie
on the
2.5
head.
hours of just that, and I think it'd win an Oscar.
Because we got a version of that now. We just had a fucking YouTuber fucking kill someone on live, bro. We got the Hunger Games in real life now.
The thing is that what Real Talk said is basically it. They are out of ideas. They are completely out of ideas, and that is not a movie. That particular movie is not a movie that you need to remake. I'm sorry. Running Man in 2025. Oh, a reality show where people get killed. Yet we literally just got 3 of those in Mockingjay and Hummingbird and the
Squid
Starvation
Games.
game. Right. Like
No, because you know what?
Games.
As a kid, I used to
Battle
go to the
Royale.
movies a lot as a kid, right? And when I would watch a really great fucking movie like The Equalizer,
Yeah.
I would think to myself, I'd be like, wow, that was a great fucking movie. You know, like how many more of those do they got? Like how many more of those do they have until they're out? Until every movie's been made?
No. And I said this the other day. Don was here for it. That I'm afraid. I'm afraid that the attention spans are becoming far too short for a feature film anyway. This younger generation, this is us that watches movies. These younger people consume content 15 seconds to a minute at a time. They may not have the attention span for
They're
a
probably not
full-on
gonna see the
feature
movie.
film.
They're watching all the Superman shorts, all the clips, and they're not going to watch the movie.
Yeah,
But like that's none of you're right, Jules. None of them Arnold remakes work. Total Recall with Colin Farrell fucking
because
sucks.
you can't like those. There was nothing wrong with those movies that you need to remake them. They're doing fucking He-Man again. Like, bro, what are you doing He-Man for?
Yeah, but the first one wasn't good. What the fuck?
It's not even that. It's that this younger generation didn't grow up with a He-Man. So what are you even doing movies about Hasbro toys for?
Did you see that they're? Did you also see that they're rebooting Naked Gun and Liam Neeson plays Frank Drebin's son?
Looked like shit, dude. What the fuck was that?
You can't replace Leslie Nielsen.
No, you can't.
Look. Liam Neeson, for what it's worth, when he's deadpan, because he had a scene in some movie where he was buying fucking cereal or something. It was fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. But you can't do a whole movie where he's trying to fill Leslie Nielsen's shoes. It's not gonna work.
The only guy I could see doing that is the guy from The Office. Steve
You know what
Carell.
movie I think they should remake?
No, because it's Leslie's thing, bro. That's like if you tried to
Yeah.
do Airplane again. Like, bro, you can't. You can't.
No.
Bro.
Can't do
Like, you
Airplane.
Stop
can't.
calling me Shirley. It was only Leslie could do that.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
You know, and they're doing a remake to Spaceballs. They're bringing back Mel
That
Brooks.
sucks,
I'm
dude.
like,
Was this
oh,
going to be PG-13 or what? They're going to cancel it.
Are they going to have Rick Moranis in it?
Yes,
Bro,
he
they
is.
should
He is.
remake
he is gonna be in it.
Desperado with
Everybody's supposed to be
No,
coming back except for John Candy.
Bill Pullman's coming. He's
Yep.
gonna be in
Well,
it.
he's fucking
His son's
dead,
gonna be in-
asshole.
Exactly. How the fuck could John?
What the fuck?
Fucking problem. John
I was saying because they were going to bring the whole
Hey, they
cast
brought-
back. What the
hey,
fuck?
Hey, they brought Princess Leia back so they could bring back John Candy.
You know, I have serious problems with this movie if they bring John Candy back.
You know what's funny though, fellas? We're going to be making our own movies when all our old actors die, but they upload their image to AI. We're just going to watch movies with them that we're creating with our AI.
No, what I think is going to happen, hopefully, to save the movie industry, there's two ways it goes. There's the doomsday scenario where the medium becomes obsolete. This younger generation just doesn't consume long form content. They like their stuff short, clips. They don't have the attention span for it. That's one scenario. The other scenario is procession. Everything happens back and forth. So the movies have been pretty shit for a while now. If things have been bad, then they'll get better. There may be a move away from big studios to produce these movies, right? Indie films, right? Those films might start to come back on smaller budgets, independent filmmakers making their movies. It's kind of like the music industry now, that you don't need an A&R. You don't need a label to make your own music. You can do it on your own now. You can even produce it on your own now. You can cut your own records. It may be a thing like that, to where the movie industry survives in the form of indie films, and then that will bring the eyes and the people back to the theater, because the movie studios just care about making money, not movies. That's why so many of them are shit and regurgitated, repackaged, reprocessed shit.
I mean, yeah.
That's what happened in the late 90s and the early 2000s. All the indie films were the ones that were really fucking, making noise.
Yeah, like if you think about it, Pulp Fiction was an indie film. It was different from everything else that was out there, which is a part of what made it such a big hit. Same with Reservoir Dogs. Smaller films like Dusk Till Dawn, they were unique because you never saw vampires presented that way before. You didn't see it that way, and there was a lot of titties in it.
You didn't even know it was a fucking vampire film to the end of the movie.
Exactly. Whereas, like there was what you started to see in the 90s was, and I also attribute this to Die Hard, it was the deviation from the gigantic muscular action hero to the more practical action hero. Bruce Willis was a trailblazer in that respect, because he wasn't built like Rambo, he wasn't built like Arnold, he wasn't built like Van Damme, and the movie had more layers, his movies. So yeah, we might see something like that in the future, that if the movie industry doesn't die out completely due to it being obsolete and a younger generation that doesn't consume long form content, if it doesn't die out, then what will happen is it will be the indie filmmakers that save it. It'll be the Ryan Cooglers, the what's the guy, Key Peele, Banana
Jordan
Peel.
Peele.
Jordan Thompson. Jordan Thompson.
He's fucking stupid.
Well, Jules,
motherfucker, what you said right there, though, is true, though.
Wait, go ahead, Jason.
I don't think that's going to happen, because unless they find a way to monetize those movies before or after distribution, it's not possible. Because part of the reason you can make those kind of movies is, okay, maybe it doesn't do well in theaters, but you can make it on the back end with DVD sales. You can't do that anymore.
No, you can't do that now. But I always come back to a couple of movies that were massively successful on very modest budgets. Well, Passion of the Christ was not a modest budget, but it was an indie film, and it was massively successful. Paranormal Activity, the Blair Witch Project, that was huge. And
The Purge was an independent film.
Right? So it can be done.
Friday was a fucking independent film.
And where you say that, okay, is it going to be a gamble for the filmmakers? Yes, it's going to be a gamble. It's going to be a huge gamble. There's going to be a lot of people that lose a lot of money trying to do their own thing. But I think it is possible for some to succeed and revitalize the movie industry without the same uniform content, because you can see what they're doing. You're just trying the same thing over and over again. Well, that's not going to work, dog. We need fresh new ideas and people that are willing to roll the dice. That could happen. It could. It's just, I look at this brain dead generation and I'm like, bro, this.
And I'm gonna burst your bubble. It's gonna get worse. MIT just did a study on these young users and them using ChatGPT. 83% forget what they typed in their seconds after they wrote it.
They're fucking morons.
They're
bro.
fucking stupid, bro.
They're fucking dumb, dog.
Like we haven't even really seen the generation that's going to be raised on AI yet, Jules. Like how dumb they're going to be.
Yeah, like it's going to reach a point to where they just plug their dicks into a wall and stand there all fucking day, dog, hallucinating. Like these kids are morons, bro.
Now, fellas, will you take? You remember on Demolition Man?
Is that AI gooning?
Yeah, AI gooning, bro. It's the new thing, bro.
Now, if they told you you could have a Neuralink where you can create your own memories, would you be fucking Salma Hayek every night?
I mean, fuck, if I'm gonna create my own fucking memories, I'm having a threesome with Selma Hayek, Sydney Sweeney, and
Sofia
Alexandria.
Vergara.
No, Alexandria Daddario, bro. Come on.
And
Oh,
when do
nice.
you get Viola Davis in there, or just on Sundays?
Oh no, she's there all the time, but for special occasion. I'm like, she's there all the time in a French maid suit.
She's out there voyeuring.
Michelle Yeoh's sitting on my face every single fucking night, man.
Shout out to
Crazy.
Michelle Yeoh. Damone said Brandon Rios and Williams are paid. Oh, come on, bro.
Who the fuck?
Stop.
Brandon Rios.
Who the
Is
fuck
that we're
has
done?
fantasy fights with Brandon Rios, bro? That's like saying Yuri Foreman versus Mark Breland. Who wins? Like, bruh. Domo said, I build AI LLMs, and yeah, regular people are fucked.
We're fucked, bro.
Fuck, bro. We are fucked. And
on that happy
maybe
note.
the other thing is that maybe it doesn't get saved in America. The movie industry in other countries, they have their own ideas and their own perspectives and things like that. And what could save it is American versions of those movies. Because the Japanese have always had a pretty good.
They're doing that a lot now, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing that could remember Old Boy, that's a Japanese movie.
Aren't they making like an American Squid Game?
Fucking The Grudge is a fucking American version.
The Ring is a fucking American.
They're making an American Squid Games, bro.
Like, do you let your kids use AI or ChatGPT or any of that shit?
No, they don't use any of that shit. None of it. None of
You
it.
take your ass to the fucking library.
Yeah, they don't use none of that shit. They don't use social media. I'm very careful about what the fuck movies they watch. I love that my daughter, she loves old shit. We was watching Terminator the other day. She's got this fucking thing where she just loves all the old shit,
Good
the new
for
shit.
her.
Yeah, on God, she loves all the old shit. And it's scary because she likes all the shit that I liked when I was a kid. Without me telling her, or without me making her watch it, she likes the old shit.
So how old does your boy got to be to you share with him Revenge of the Nerds?
He's not there yet. He's not there yet. When I would say around 10, 11. That's when you start talking about titties, and
that's when he can learn about hair pie.
Yeah, titties and bush.
Hair pie.
Shit like that. That's when you maybe let him watch a little bit of Porky's.
Yeah, I would say like between 11.
Just One of the Guys is
13
one of my
that
favorite
age,
80s
yeah.
flicks.
Maybe some Police Academy, the cop that had the really sharp tits. They were really fucking sharp. You remember that?
Fucking
cop?
Callahan?
Callahan. Big fucking tits, man.
You men, stop that.
Big fucking
This
tits.
titty woman.
So but yeah, like that. Those are things that could. But the other thing is, don't
We've
rule
got
out
Bush.
Don't rule out the possibility that, as scary as it is, yeah, there are some mediums over time that they died out in movies, as big as they may have been in our generation and as big as they may have been for us. They could go the same way that 8-tracks, cassettes, CD players, and MP3s went. They can go, bro. They can go.
Now let me ask you this: on your opinion, why doesn't the live performance ever go away?
Because it's different. Like if you've ever been to whether it's a jazz club or a concert, it's a different vibe when
Or
you
a
get
play,
to hear them.
something like that,
You
yeah.
get to hear them. You feel the music. You feel the instruments. If you go to a jazz club, it's different than just popping in a jazz CD. If you're there and you get to hear it yourself, it's different. I don't think that's gonna go away.
It's an event, is what it is.
Yeah, but it's also an experience. It's something that you can experience by being
Yeah, like so
there,
be at a concert or going to a play or going like seeing something live.
and
seeing the
you're
people in front of you.
drinking and you're drinking your drink. You're like, it's the ambience, because it's not just the music, it's also the ambiance. You're drinking your drink. Maybe you're a little bit high. Maybe you treated your nose in the bathroom. Maybe you're fingering your girl while you're doing it at the table. It's a whole fucking thing, man. So live music is not going anywhere. But movies,
it's the difference between jerking off and getting pussy,
movies are a medium. Movies are just a subsidiary of one of the oldest things that humans do. And one of the oldest things that humans do is tell stories. But the way that the stories are told changes. Before it was plays, like in antiquity and all that shit. At the Colosseum, people are wearing wigs, they got accents and shit. They all sound like Anthony Hopkins. Then it evolves. It becomes TV shows, cartoons, movies, but that's actually been going on for a very long time. So perhaps the new way that humans tell their stories is video games, because a lot of people don't talk about how big that's become, that the gaming industry is fucking huge now, dog. It's huge. It's way bigger than it was when we were kids. And one thing I see gamers talk about is how good a story is, you know, the story of the characters.
And then people will straight up, like, they'll take the entire, like, game and they'll literally just, like, cut it up so that it's a movie on, like, you can watch online for, you know, us old people.
So yeah, you know, I mean, we're changing, Drew. We're like turning into different versions of ourselves. So I'm gonna fucking go to sleep because I'm gonna go to gym in the morning.
Good night, you old bastard.
Hurt my elbows again. See you bastards.
Jerking off.
Night,
See you
everybody.
bastards later in the week.
Fuck you, country.
Fuck you.
Fuck you all. Good night.